Exits are located in the back of the room, in the front here to your left. Once you go out those exits, you'll see signage directing you to the outside exits of the building. And once outside, we'll proceed to the designated assembly area in the parking lot adjacent to City Hall. If we need to shelter in place for any reason, follow the instructions of law enforcement personnel. We'll get you to a shelter in place location and give you further instructions as needed. If you observe a safety concern of any sort or required assistance during the meeting, please notify a police officer or city staff member immediately, and thank you for your attention and cooperation. We'll now proceed with the meeting. Momentarily.
Just like that. I left somebody. I left my phone upstairs, so it's gonna be ringing, so can you just bring it down and I'll turn it off right there, thank you. Good evening, everyone. How's everybody? Happy Monday. I'd like to call to order our June 8th, 2026 City Council meeting. It's our City Council regular meeting for the City of Jonesboro. Madam Clerk, could you please give us a roll call? Thank you.
Mayor Sarter,
Present.
Councilmember Messick. Your mic, okay. Councilmember Messick,
Present.
okay. Councilmember Fox.
Present.
I don't think is your mic
Present.
on? Thank you. Councilmember Cameron Dixon,
Present.
Councilmember Alfred Dixon,
Present.
Councilmember Kearney, and Mayor Pro Tem Miller. Let the record reflect that Mayor Pro Tem Miller is absent. However, we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you call the additional items on the agenda for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Invocation by Pastor Wendell Webb of First Baptist Jonesboro.
Is Pastor Webb with us today? Well, guess what, Rabbi? Not to put you on the spot, but would you mind? At the mic, this is Rabbi Nimhauser from the congregation B'nai Israel. And so we're going to present a proclamation, but how appropriate that you get to do our invocation.
A moment of prayer. We ask our Creator, O Heavenly One, Creator of so many peoples, so many faiths, so many colors, as well as our natural world, to bless this assembly of people who are working toward bettering our community, bringing more cohesion, bringing more love, bringing more outreach, and lifting up those who need a helping hand. May everyone here at this meeting find their way home in safety to their loved ones, as together we say, Amen.
Amen. Thank you so very much.
Now we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll have the adoption of the agenda. Council to consider approval and adoption of the agenda.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I would just like to remove item C under presentations. The Jonesboro Education Trust presentation. We'll be able to actually discuss anything at the agenda item.
Okay, perfect. We discussed that as well. Is there any other additions?
Mayor,
Yes.
I was wondering when I would find out about the item that I wanted to add, but.
Yeah, I was going to speak about it in the mayor's report. The ethics?
Yes,
Yes. It's nothing that we can vote on tonight once I provide the explanation.
right, but I wonder if it's something we can discuss.
I don't,
Add it for discussion.
we can add it for discussion, but would that go under old or new business?
Old business.
Old business?
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't believe there's a need for executive session.
Okay. Removing executive session? That's your hand? I thought I saw a hand.
It's just a discussion over the one appointment, the, Althea Hussey, or Hussey, only because the other people they don't meet the requirements unless.
But there's
Althea
still a
does.
process that has to occur before we can appoint her.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't trying to appoint anybody tonight, just discuss, and then hopefully appoint at the next meeting, because there hasn't been a background check done on her, and one of the requirements is
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going through that. So I mean, we can still put it on just
to discuss,
to
right?
discuss, yeah. A, B, C, D, E. Council, under new business, I'd like to just add a discussion for road closure for the marketplace, for the market with Arts Clayton. All righty. So we struck item C under presentation. We've added E, ethics discussion under new business, and item D, just a discussion for road and market, road closure for the Saturday market at Arts Clayton. Any other additions, council?
Mayor, would it be old business A for ethics discussion?
Old business A?
Yes.
No, I said E.
You wanted new business change?
No, we have item A, B, C, and D
Mhm.
under old business, so I added it as E.
Okay.
I think it's because it looped around, but is that correct? Item A, B, C, and D?
Yeah, it's old business.
So
It'd
would it be
old
E?
business E?
E, okay, that's right.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Mayor,
Yes.
I'm just now looking, I see it's council to discuss the DDA nominations. We didn't want to appoint any of those tonight, it was only discussion.
I have both of the applications here, Mayor, and then I also spoke with Scott this afternoon, or received an email from Scott this afternoon, and he said he was okay with the two that I had sent him and the other DDA board members.
Okay.
So it's at the pleasure of Mayor and Council.
Okay, and this is a regular meeting, so if we decide to vote, we can, so that'll be fine.
Okay, so can we just edit it to say, discuss and consider, or?
Well, I wanted to keep it a discussion just to make sure. And
Oh.
then if there's an action from that discussion, then we're okay.
Okay,
The minutes will reflect that. Mayor Pro Tem, I'm sorry.
Can we add discussion on update on the hydration station?
Yes, are you prepared to give an update on the hydration station? Okay.
Thanks.
That would be D. Yeah,
Old business
I
F?
think it would be
F,
Old business
item
F?
F.
F. I'm not doing my letters right. All right. Council, I'm gonna go over any more additions so I can go through it one more time, and then I'll accept a motion for the agenda with stated changes. We're striking item C under presentations. We add, under old business, we'll add E for ethics discussion, D, hydration station. Under new business, we will add road closure for Marketplace and Arts Clayton. And there's no need for executive session. I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda with said additions, said edits.
Mayor,
Yes.
I made that motion to approve. With said edits.
Second.
Did you get the second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so very much. We have Egyptian. I'm gonna do my mayor's report at the beginning of the meeting today. Just a few little updates. Last week, we wanted to thank without sounding sexist, the women of the council for participating together. All of us, we built a house on Friday with Habitat for Humanity. It was an excellent event. We are experts on sidings. Siding, I don't know, I think somebody was on caulking. I think Councilwoman Kearney had the nail gun, and Mayor Pro Tem was very intent. I mean, like, she was focused. She did a whole side of the wall, but it was a great event and a great opportunity for us to do some bonding together. And so I appreciate you all for that. You all know we have several big events coming up. I wanted to thank you on that as well. And I've already given you the update on our grants, and we will keep you posted on that. And that's all that I have for my mayor's report today.
Next item, proclamation recognizing Jewish Heritage Month.
Madam Clerk, did the record reflect Mayor Pro Tem as attendance?
Yes.
As an attendance. So much. May was Jewish Heritage Month, and so we're a little delayed, but I have a great opportunity to present this to the, and Rabbi just corrected me, B'nai, is that correct? B'nai, see, we were done. The congregation B'nai of Israel, they're in unincorporated Jonesboro. This is our closest Jewish congregation, so it's such an honor to be able to present this to Rabbi Nem Hauser. I worked really hard on making sure I pronounced that correctly. We had opportunity to meet at their beautiful place of worship, and just looking at ways that we can continue to work together and build across all denominations to better serve our community. So if you all would join us up front, and I'm going to call some names, and Rabbi Nem Hauser, Jennifer Rutbart, Sandy Demuth, okay, good. My southern accent doesn't always serve me well. Mindy and Rick Butler, good. Hector Shariton, oh, great. Susan Burton, did she make it? There you go, Susan, okay. And then I want to tell Jennifer, thank you so much for coming. If you all would come back here with us. Yeah. Oh, Claudia Charrington. There you go, Claudia. But the proclamation reads, whereas Jewish American Heritage Month is celebrated each May to recognize the significant contributions Jewish Americans have made to our nation's history, culture, and society. And whereas Jewish Americans have played a vital role in shaping our communities through achievement in fields such as education, science, business, government, the arts, and public service. Whereas the observance of this month provides an opportunity to honor the rich cultural heritage, traditions, and enduring values of the Jewish people, and whereas it's important to recognize and celebrate the diversity that strengthens our community and promotes understanding, inclusion, respect among all people. Now, therefore, I, Dr. Danielle Sartor, Mayor of the City of Jonesboro, along with my Mayor Pro Tem and entire City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of May as Jewish American Heritage Month and encourage all residents to join in recognizing and celebrating the many contributions Jewish Americans have made to our community and our nation. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Jonesboro to be affixed, and we did this the 11th day of May, 2026, and signed by myself as well as attested by our City Clerk, Chandrella Jewett. Thank you so much.
President.
Our next,
Just a couple of words. At a time of such discord in our world, and at a time when the Jewish people are probably more than ever in my lifetime, in my many decades of life, have been more fearful of how we've been portrayed throughout America, throughout the world. It means a tremendous amount to us to be recognized in this way, to be invited to an occasion like this, and really lifted up by this kind of public and official recognition. Mayor Sean Smith, Reverend Sean Smith, Mayor Dickens' pastor, says love needs to look like something. All of our faiths tell us that we should love our neighbors as ourselves. Love your neighbor as yourself. It comes from our ancient traditions and all the way through to all even new traditions. And love needs to look like something. Love needs to look like lifting up the fallen. Love needs to look like feeding the hungry. Love needs to look like giving a helping hand. Love needs to look like recognizing people who are different than yourself, but who are part of your community. And we are so grateful that you've shown us this love. So thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.
Next item, proclamation recognizing the city of Jonesboro as a city of peace during the month of June. Play for peace.
Is that, who's here to receive that? Oh, come on up. Should have saved that. This is a proclamation recognizing the city of Jonesboro as a city of peace during the month of June. Article 10 of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation, cessation of war calls for the establishment of a culture of peace through education, collaboration, and civic participation. Whereas heavenly culture, world peace, and restoration of life advances peace through international operation, respect international law, interfaith harmony, and peace and education initiatives that strengthen communities at the local and global levels. Whereas HWPL holds special consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council, recognizing the organization's contribution to peace building and the relevance of its framework beyond localized initiatives. Whereas the purpose of DPCW, Article 10, and HWPL, Georgia's Peace Initiatives, is to cultivate a vibrant and revitalized community through fostering tolerance and understanding through legislation, peace education, and community and activation. This is what I'm most excited about. Whereas HWPL, Georgia's Legislative Peace Program and Peace Leadership Academy for Youth, PLAY, support peace through education, community partnerships across Clayton County and Gwinnett County. And whereas the Play for Peace World Youth Peace and Camp Summit is a youth-centered initiative designed to strengthen communities through the peace, education, and civic sports and leadership development and cross-cultural exchange, providing young people with the practical tools to contribute to community safety, stability, and opportunity. Whereas the Arrow Youth International Youth Council plays a vital role in elevating youth voice, fostering responsible civic participation, and supporting youth leadership and addressing local global challenges through collaboration, dialogue, and service. Whereas Atlanta's preparing to welcome global attention through major international events such as the World Cup, there is a timely opportunity to demonstrate principled leadership by investing in youth-centered peace initiatives that reflect shared values, global responsibility, and community resilience. Whereas through this initiative, approximately 200 youth will participate in a summer camp and summit focused on peace building, leadership development, and peace education, reinforces Atlanta's position as a city committed to innovation, inclusion, and positive social impact. Now, therefore, I, Dr. Danielle Sarter, Mayor of the City of Jonesboro, along with my Mayor Pro Tem, the entire City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of June as a month of peace in the city of Jonesboro, Georgia, and express support for the Play for Peace World Youth Peace Camp and Summit, HWPL Georgia, and the expansion of peace education in the Arrow Youth Leadership Council International, encouraging residents, schools, youth organizations, civic leaders, and community partners to engage in activities that advance peace education, youth leadership, and collaborative community. In official recognition whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Jonesboro to be affixed this 8th day of June, signed by myself, the mayor, as well as attested by our city clerk. Thank you all so much.
I'm truly appreciative of this proclamation. Play for Peace ATL is a summit that we're having this summer. We have 200 youth that are participating. They are learning, they are putting in this mindset of peace inside of them so that they can be citizens of peace in our community. And we're grateful for this to be recognized. I can continue speaking, but I think hearing from the youth is better. So I'm going to ask one of our Arrow youth to come up and also share her thankful heart for this proclamation.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Arrow Youth Leadership Council and Playing for Peace ATL, I am honored to accept this proclamation and grateful for this recognition of work being done in our community. Playing for Peace ATL is more than a summer camp. It is a movement dedicated to empowering youth people through leadership, education, service, and meaningful connection. Our mission is rooted in our 4 pillars: social justice, social wellness, social equality, and social economics. These principles guide everything we do as we help young people develop skills, confidence, and opportunities they need to thrive. I have personally experienced the impact Playing for Peace can have on a young person's life. These lessons I learned, mentors who invested in me, and the community that supported me helped me shape who I am today. I want to thank our campers, families, staff, volunteers, community partners, and everyone who believes in the power of investing in young people. This proclamation is a reflection of all of you and the work we continue to do together. As we look ahead, we remain committed to building stronger communities, creating opportunities for the youth, and living out the value of our 4 pillars every day. Thank you again for this honor, and thank you for supporting Playing for Peace ATL.
Both organizations, if you are welcome to stay for the entire council meeting, or you all can be dismissed at this time. Again, thank you so much, and we appreciate you all joining us this evening. Thank you. At this time, we have no public comment, unless I am incorrect. No public comment. Madam Clerk, if you'd like to go on.
Yes, no public hearing as well. Next item, approval of the minutes. A, council to consider May 4th, 2026 work session minutes.
Council, are there any corrections to the minutes for May 5th, our work session? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second that motion, Mayor.
In discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so very much.
Letter B, council to consider May 11th, 2026 regular council meeting minutes.
Council, is there any additions or corrections to May 11th, regular council meeting minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so very much.
Letter C, council to consider May 28th, 2026 special call council meeting minutes.
Council, are there any additions or changes that need to be made to the May 28th special call council meeting? I think I had just one. Hold on a second. Was the statement that was read in the record, I think I saw it in the preliminary
It's
ones.
attached,
Is it
yes.
attached? Okay, cool. I'll approve a motion to approve. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Mayor. Second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so very much. Moving on to old business.
Old business A, council to discuss and consider a resolution establishing the legislative findings, purpose, authority, and policy framework for the regulations and the use of city-owned or city-controlled facilities, recognizing the distinct legislative, administrative, and executive functions relating to the municipal facilities, authorizing the development and implementation of a facilities use policy for elected officials and for other lawful purposes.
Madam Mayor and Council, this was discussed in great detail last week. I made the revisions that you all discussed, and what before you is the final version of that document. If you have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Council, any questions? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second that motion, Mayor.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so very much, council.
Letter B, council to consider a budget allocation in the amount of $1,600 to support Runsboro GA 5K that will be held on September 12th, 2026.
I think the
Gotcha.
only question I had was the line item for that, attorney, do we have a line item for that?
Talking about Ms. Karen, it's the wellness line item.
Yeah, did we determine a line item for this? I know originally it was from the wellness line item, and it couldn't take from there because that's a totally reimbursable amount from our health insurance, so it just has to come through like city events or something. Can we make a motion to approve it, come through city events, and then in 2 months when we do any type of budget adjustments, we can do from there that way? Are y'all okay with that?
It's fine with me.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? And further discussion, I just want to make for the record that we will take it from city events line item. Beg your pardon? Yeah, city events line up, and we'll make adjustments on the other end.
Madam Mayor, that can be a part of your motion if you want.
Okay.
Or you rather wait?
No, who made the motion?
Yeah, you can add that if you amend the motion just to,
Okay, I'd like to amend the motion. I forgot who made it though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can,
so I like, yeah.
yeah, we'll amend the motion to include that the allocation will be made from the city events line item.
Councilman Dixon? Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure, Councilman Dixon, this is the same amount that you first asked for the first time, right? Hasn't
Correct.
changed? Okay.
It hasn't changed.
So there's a motion, amended motion. Can I get a second to that amended motion?
Second to the amendment.
Any further discussion?
Mayor,
Well,
Yes,
I just have a question. What is the date of this event?
it's Saturday, September 12th.
Saturday, September 12th.
Thank you.
And I'd just also like to just put out there, I appreciate the council's support in Runsboro initiative.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Thank you so very much, council.
Letter C, council to discuss and consider Jonesboro Education Trust Pilot Program Memorandum of Understanding.
No,
So,
we didn't table. I think there was some discussion here, and I'm not sure, Councilman
Yeah.
Dixon, are you gonna lead that discussion for us?
Yeah. And, well, good evening, everyone. And first and foremost, just want to thank Attorney Wiley, City Manager, Blue Coal staff, Truist Bank, Clayton County Public Schools, community members for really contributing to the framework of this program. Definitely couldn't have done it without you all, so just really wanted to thank you all for helping out with the vision. Tonight, this represents the first phase of the Jonesboro Education Trust Pilot Program, and this is the foundational framework for the program. Approval of this framework will allow us to formally move forward in discussions with community partners, our financial institutions, foundations, nonprofits, educational partners, and other stakeholders as we continue building this initiative into a citywide opportunity for our Jonesboro families. Everyone should have the information in their packet, but for anyone that's just viewing for the first time, the Jonesboro Education Trust is a civic engagement and educational opportunity initiative designed to expose children and families to financial literacy, leadership development, educational planning, and long-term pathways to success beginning as early as kindergarten. So tonight, my goal is not to necessarily represent the entire program, but my goal is, and my motion for the record, is to formally establish the framework of the Jonesboro Education Trust Pilot Program and to authorize this body of the execution of the Memorandum of Understanding that will allow us to continue building the partnerships. And as y'all can see, through the documents, many of the operational details, partnership roles, participation opportunities will continue to be developed following approval of this framework.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
And just to echo what Councilman A. Dixon had just stated, the initial presentation of this program has been revised. The core frame still is the same, the core foundation of what this pilot program is intended to do. But the public purpose, it allows the city to encourage education, financial literacy, fosters civic engagement, leadership, and future opportunities for young students. And the city's role is really clear as the convener and the coordinator. The city is not the bank, the city is not the trustee of the funds, the city is not holding the funds. The program will enable partnerships, as Councilman A. Dixon said, to help carry out those implementation programs. The city will be a supporter in that event, and the proposed document before you is a good framework and foundation legally supported by the city's charter and state law, and is appropriate for your adoption if it's the will of the body.
If there's no further discussion or questions,
I didn't know we opened up for discussion.
Did we get any clarification on the attached nonprofit? That was my only concern, like that it was not spelled out in the MOU.
So, Councilman Dixon, you want me to take that question? Or?
yeah, that's a great question, and I appreciate that. If I can lean on you, Attorney Wiley.
Yes, sir. So what this document is, it allows this body to adopt the program as an official city program. It requires us to then go and find the sponsors to have the MOU. So we will subsequently find the sponsors, or not find the sponsors, but further engage the sponsors, whether it be CCPS or another 501c3, who will help do the implementation to be the fiduciary holder of the funds, the bank partnerships and sponsorships. What this document does is it tells those future cohorts that this is something the city of Jonesboro supports and has adopted as a viable program, and then it will allow Councilman Dixon to go and say the city supports this program, and it enables us to then branch into further negotiations for an MOU. But there is not an MOU before you tonight. This is just the adoption of the program,
No, I understand
foundation
that.
itself.
Okay, so the 501(c) that was created for this, will spell that out in the MOU. Because I feel like that's an important party to it. I mean, nothing's wrong with it, but I think that's an important party, and I didn't know if for just transparency's sake, the council just needs to be aware of it. I don't know, I felt like it should have been included, because we now know who the fiduciary entity is. So that's all. I mean, we don't have to, but to me it made sense, and that's why I asked about it earlier, that our MOU is, because it's not just identified as the Clayton County. We're working with a nonprofit that was established, Jonesboro Youth City Government. It has nothing to do with the city, set up appropriately and everything, and I felt like this agreement should just have that included in it. Are y'all opposed to that?
No, and thank you for your question and your comments, and we've considered these. This right here that's before us today is simply the framework for the program. The MOU will outline and spell out in detail exactly what each community partner's role is.
Mayor.
Yes, whoever wants to go first. I didn't see who went first. Okay,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
So am I understanding correctly that we have a 501c3 that is interested in oversight of this program? Because, I mean, there's still gonna be money involved with the $40,000 that he has in this packet. That money, I know 2,500 of it goes to the student accounts. The rest of it is supposed to be money used for the education and for paying vendors to come in and run this program. So that money's gotta be held somewhere, and somebody has to oversee the money that's gonna be used, that the city's gonna be partnering with. So do we, am I understanding this correctly? The 501c3 is gonna handle all of that? None of this money will come through the city? Is that what I'm understanding?
Partially. So if you look at this as in phases, the first phase is the formal adoption of the program itself. This is the program.
Okay.
Second phase will be then to enter into the formal MOU partnerships to take care of the implementation of the items that you just described. That entity, the 501c3, will have to demonstrate its ability to do these things, and we will have to make certain that it has the infrastructure to handle this most important aspect of the money handling. So that is phase 2. So this, if you think of it, and then phase 3, I guess, will be the actual when everything starts operating and the sponsorships and the bank accounts get open with the parents handling that. The parents will be owning their own accounts for their children. So this is just phase 1, to say that the city of Jonesboro supports and adopts this program. Phase 2, which is yet to come, will be the MOU. And so I don't want us to conflate the two. It's coming, but it just is not here tonight. So whatever form that MOU partnership takes, whether it be 1 or 2 MOUs or a 3-party MOU, we will bring that back for future consideration.
Thank you, Attorney Wiley. Mayor, I would just like to say, I would like to know who we're partnering with before we partner with them.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're clarifying that. So this is not establishing our partnership. I just brought that up because I felt like it should have been clearer in here that there will be a fiduciary agency, and it says, it references, but it doesn't, even as phase 1, I feel like the phase 1 needs to clearly say that there will be a 501(c)(3), whether established or previously established, and so I want to clearly outline that. It's in here, but it says, I think it's in the question and answer part. I'll find it while you're looking. And then my other concern, and what wasn't really a concern, because this is, again, Councilman Dixon, great start. Because we're saying that we're not connected with it financially, I think we need to clear up whether the city will participate in any fundraising to go toward this, so that there's no problem, like raising money for this, because that can get to be a little unclean.
Our funding
Mayor, I do have a
stops.
question.
Yes.
So-
I'm just, Attorney White, did you want to address that or anything?
So, I think,
I'm sorry, excuse me, the better question. Can we fundraise on behalf of the city to put funds into the to the fiduciary department?
so I don't know how does the city engage in fundraising activities for sponsored
Like
programs?
Jonesboro Youth City Government kind of have, yes.
And
And so
so
it could be a little,
if the city has routine fundraising activities for projects, I don't know why this would be excluded from that.
okay.
But this particular program does not call for that at this moment. All it does is say is there is a program, here's the public purpose, here are the limits of what the city will do, and we are going to seek out responsible partners, whether it be the school system or whether it be a 501c3 that's established. Whatever that partnership is, it will come back to you all for approval. But we have to bring something to the table in order to get those conversations started. And we also have to show and demonstrate to those prospective partners that this is something the city actually wants. And so by your adopting it, it does that. It allows the conversation to be an official conversation based upon the program that you all have adopted. And then we'll come back to do the phase 2 and bring you the partners and make certain that the roles are clearly identified. But the city's limitations are here. We're a convener and facilitator. We don't hold the money. That's going to be, that's very clearly stated here. And I commend Councilman A. Dixon for taking those concerns into serious account and reforming this in a way that makes it palatable and doable for city government such as Jonesboro.
Okay, so that answers my question. I think clarifying that this is phase 1, this is just to get us engaged. And then I think what threw me off here, it says that we don't serve as a fiduciary agent, but it doesn't outline who the fiduciary agent is, but that could be phase 2. Perfect. Councilwoman Kearney, I saw you up here, Councilwoman Fox.
So I think as I read this, Attorney Wiley answered a lot of the questions, because that's how I interpret it as phase 1, us entering into discovery to figure out who these partnerships are. So it's not necessarily, the way that I read this, unless I'm reading it wrong, it's making a commitment to enter into a discovery phase so that he can go out and seek those partnerships to make sure they do align with, as a governing body, that we're aligning with. And on that note, I would like to, I definitely support that.
And thank you.
Mayor?
Yes.
All right, so, I'm in support of this as well. I just wanna make sure I'm clarifying what the city's role is. I know a lot of stuff was cleaned up, but can you please just explain to me when it says the city's role is limited to civic engagement coordination, what does that look like? Outreach, what does that look like? And participation verification, like, what does that look like? I know it says it shall not include financial administration, great, but what do those three things look like? I have a thought in my mind, but I wanna make sure I'm on the right track.
Well, and I feel like we're pretty aligned, but just share those three things again.
So, in my opinion, when I see the city's role is limited to civic engagement coordination, so does that mean we're just putting out communications, like, advertising it on the social medias and that's it?
We will be participating and championing the program, for sure.
Okay, so us just sharing it, is that it?
Or let's say, if a student, if you want to host some students, if they want to come and participate in the council meeting, right, as part of this program, they get the credit for that helps them in the program. So we are a facilitator in that all of the public engagement that this requires. If you look at the chart, and we're expecting the students to engage civically. I think the city would be a partner in sponsoring that. All of the details, the granular details, I think will be ironed out with the partners. This is a high-level view of what the program will do and the city's limits. We're just making it clear to the future partners that that someone else will be holding the money and being responsible for the money, having that fiduciary responsibility. I don't think this document goes into detail as to, those granular details, Councilwoman Kearney. But I do know that I've heard Councilman A. Dixon talk about how, they may want to come and do something with Jonesboro Youth City Government. That could be a credit towards their civic engagement. Whatever those programs are, my imagination probably is not creative enough, Councilman Dixon, to answer all those questions.
And Attorney Wiley, you hit it spot on, but if I can just maybe give just another example. When we have the beautification events with the beautification committee, that would be something that we as a city or the beautification department could help facilitate when it comes to.
Okay.
Okay, do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I just want to make sure. So if there's like a role sheet, will that be on somebody in the city to make sure that the role for those participants is, taken, or will that be on the JET programs advisors to do that? I'm just.
That's a great question.
I'm asking that question, and I get it. Maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse here, but if we're making the city's role do something, if we don't do it, I don't want us held, you know what I mean? Like,
no,
I just want to make sure we know what we're signing up for here.
And I think with the MOU, the MOU will put those details in greater perspective for you. So when we come back, then we'll have everybody's role will be clear as to what the city is supposed to do vis-a-vis the sponsor, the 501c3 entity, whether it's CCPS, and how it's going to work with getting the students and keeping that information. So all of that the devil is in the details. And I think once we get the partnership, everybody's roles will be clearly defined to answer your very valid questions.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem?
I think for clarity, I think it was left intentionally, and I don't want to say ambiguous, but like those type of things, so that they can have room for the negotiations when the MOUs and things like that come. From my understanding, this document is just to get the foot in the door so we can have the conversation that we need to have, right? Okay, so Mayor, can I make a motion to approve?
Yep. Yes.
Framework?
Okay, y'all, we're going. I think I think the confusion is that we've had a deep conversation and now we're coming back and going high level. So just balancing now, because we went kind of deep a couple months ago. So bringing it back out. So thank y'all for the great questions. There's a motion on, I entertain a motion to approve. Would you like to officially make it? I just want to make sure, did you get Mayor Pro Tem's motion?
Yes.
Yes, okay. It's been appropriately second. Any discussion? Yeah.
and it just warms my heart, and because
Whatever.
Look, look,
All in,
look,
all,
look.
all in favor?
Hold on real quick.
All in favor?
Hold on real quick. You know, because we're doing a lot of great things in the city. You know, we really are investing in whether it's buildings, whether it's infrastructure, roads, you know, public safety. But to see us really investing in aspirations, it just means so much to me. So thank you, council.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Mayor,
opposition?
Mayor Sarter, can you please state the motion clearly?
The motion is to approve the adoption of the memorandum. Are we calling this an MOU? We are calling this an MOU. Jonesboro. I'm just reading the item.
It's the Pilot Civic Engagement and Educational Opportunity Initiative. JET, Jonesboro. It's on the first page. Look on page 175. It's the document that you're approving.
I just want to I was reading off the thing. So we are approving
The Jonesboro
the
Education.
Pilot Civic Engagement and Educational Opportunity Initiative
Yes, of the Jonesboro Education Trust. Yes, ma'am.
of the Jonesboro Education Trust. All right, we said all in favor? Okay. All right, thank you so much. Again, thank you, Councilman Dixon. Next, Mr. Cole, Mr. City Manager.
Yes, ma'am. Council to discuss DDA nominations. If I can, all right, in front of you, Mayor, Council, are two applications to the DDA board. One is Mr. Fernando Cortez, who is a business owner in downtown, and then Kimberly Lacey, Lightford, Kimberly Lacey Lightford, who has Fireside Design, also downtown. I have spoken to both of these individuals. They are interested in joining the DDA. Each of them have a business in the downtown area. And this, approving these two individuals would give us a quorum. That still leaves us with one vacancy on the board, but this gets us up to 6 members.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager, for that. And
Mayor?
also,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and also, these are our two, and we're really gonna focus on that last one, hopefully being a resident in the city, so I'm glad that we left that open. So, I approve these nominations if there's a motion to accept, but I will entertain some questions over here. Councilwoman Fox.
I want to make note that Mr. Cortez is also, he's a resident as well as a business owner, so we have a 2-for-1.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Where does he live?
South Main Street.
Where does he live?
I can't remember his address, but I verified, he's
All right, so can we just include that on there just for record keeping sake that he could serve as?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, his legal address
he
is.
has a City of Jonesboro trash can, I made sure of it.
Well, only reason I said because his address on here is 8341 Tudor Drive, Jonesboro, and that's outside the
That's
city.
not the address on his driver. I just met up with them.
Well, I'm just saying, well, then we just need to make sure his application
Okay.
is correct, because
Okay.
his legal
'Cause he-
address on
Yeah,
here.
he sent this a while ago, so this was like,
Mhm.
this application is, I don't think this is a recent one. Yeah, this is 12/5/25. If
Okay,
you
so
look at the
you-
date of the application, so it might have exactly the first time he applied.
so
So
can
he's
we-
definitely a resident now.
Point of order. All right, I'm just trying to understand. It's a lot.
Okay, hold on, I still gotta acknowledge your point of order.
Okay, point
So
of
one
order.
second. I think he was getting ready to say something for 1 second, and then we'll come back to the point of order. Like,
Okay.
I think we was doing good.
I was just making notes.
Okay, so you just make a note that we just get an updated application. Not that anything is wrong, but where he lives, because he meets the criteria.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
if we're mailing the stuff out, that we can get his correction there for that.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
thank you, but he's still eligible to serve. Yes,
Would you like to acknowledge my point of order now?
yeah, point of order.
Okay, so it just seemed like there was a lot of conversation. I didn't know if people were being properly acknowledged or not. I don't know if we're in discussion right now or if there's a motion on the floor. I'm just trying to figure out where we are.
Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I
Councilwoman
thought
Fox.
we were discussing the DD applicants. This is appropriate, right?
Well, I don't know. Like, so we got two before us. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve? Like,
Mayor,
I
I'll
thought
make
we
a
was
motion.
doing kind of good.
I'll make a motion to approve these two applicants.
What- all right.
Second.
Second.
Now, is there any discussion?
Madam Mayor, I just want to make certain that we understand that these are full terms. These are not unexpired terms, that they're being filled. The law says that when the DDA members leave, then any replacement of the vacancies, they get replaced for entirely new terms. So they're held the full, whatever the terms are under the statute.
Mayor Pro Tem.
And this might be for the attorney, I'm not sure. So serving on 2 boards, we're volunteers, right? So there's no way for it to be like a conflict of interest if one board is like, because I hear DDA and the other one I think is like historic design. So it's like, well, I don't want you to not approve this because, and I want her on the board. So let me start by saying that. But I just want to make sure that we're clean with this. Or even if it is a conflict of interest, if it's okay and we don't have it written out, like I just want to make sure that it's okay because she does serve, one of the members does serve on another board.
So I haven't seen these I haven't seen any of these, so I haven't been able to make that assessment.
Okay, well, I'm for sure she serves on another board. I guess my overarching question is just if one board could potentially have a situation that impacts the other board, what does that look like? And I believe she is trustworthy and all of that. I just want to make sure that we are okay.
I think that is a good question, and I would not be able to answer that tonight
Would she
because I
just,
haven't seen these.
it's almost like with any, so even on the historic, if a property comes before the board, or even with the DDA, if a property comes before a board and there's a personal interest, they would simply, I assume, abstain, what's the word? Abstain. Yeah.
Interest. I think I mean like if they have to vote on something on historic, like whether she DDA buy the property and historic is saying like, well, no, I don't think the property needs to you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah, but I think understanding what the historic board does, it wouldn't get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the historic board has very clear, I think to me it's simply objective. I don't see personally, having served on the historic board and the DDA, I don't see. But we don't have something that says that, and I think if it was, but to me, because you live in the city and you work in the city, the chances are of that comes up often. Kind of. So, but I've served on the historic board and the DDA, and I want to say I think I did it at the same time.
no conflict. Okay, well my second still saying I'm not saying anything.
I'm not sure, but I know, I think so.
And there are recusal ways for that. She could
What's that
recuse
word?
herself
Recuse. Thank you.
if there is a conflict.
I just want to say anybody else anything, you know? So okay, my second still saying.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition?
Thank you.
so very much. And you'll follow up with them
Thank you.
and get them ready for the next meeting. All right.
Letter E, council to discuss ethics board.
I make a motion to discuss the DDA nominations.
Give me 1 second, I think they're talking over there.
Just this board nomination.
Ethics.
Are we on ethics or?
Yeah, so we don't need a motion for that. We're
Ethics.
going to go into
We can
discussion.
just go straight into it.
Yeah, I was going to let him make sure he's paying attention.
I thought I said ethics, I'm sorry. Ethics, sorry.
Yeah, give me 1 second, let them clear up something. All right, now we're on, are y'all good?
Yes, ma'am.
On to the ethics committee.
So right here, Mayor and Council, is the application from the individual, thank you very much, who was eligible. To recap for you guys, we received 4 applications for the Board of Ethics. 1 individual was already on there. 3 of them had applied, and 2 of the 3 lived outside of the city, which leaves the 1 individual that you have in front of you up for consideration.
Yeah.
Okay, so, thank you so much, Mr. Cole. I think that there are other things, though, to get a whole picture of what we have to analyze with the Board of Ethics, because when we had the previous members, we didn't do certain things that we were supposed to do afterwards, so I kind of want a general picture. We have 2 people, and then we have to have this 1 person up there, or we don't even need to look at this 1 person because we have the 2 people. Like, let's get an overarching picture, because I've seen emails, but let's streamline it, please.
Well, let me just give a review. There's 3 members on the ethics board. A quorum is maintained at 2. So at this particular time, you spoke with both members, and they're still willing to serve. Is that correct?
I have not spoken with the current members.
Either,
Okay.
either one of them.
Yeah, so at this time, I'm gonna ask that we table this discussion. I apologize, but, so my assumption is that we had verified those and we had a quorum. 2 gives us a quorum. From that quorum, once we have 2, because Councilwoman Kearney served on theirs first and had to automatically come off. Our statute says that the 3 should have convened, or a quorum convenes and decides who has a 1-year term, 2-year term, and a 3-year term. After those terms expire, then either the next person to fill those seats will then get 2-year terms. It keeps from clearing the board all at one time, the rolling. So we kind of made this assumption, here's the word assumption, that when Councilwoman Kearney came off, that makes sense to be the 1-year term. But to solidify that, we would need the ethics board to convene to determine person A will take the 3-year term, person B would take the 2-year term, and person C would take the 1-year term. It's up to them to decide. I can imagine that the 1-year term would probably go to the person that's not there. All of them, even if all 3s were filled, their terms are still active. The person just came off because she's now serving. So what we need to happen is a quorum to occur for them to convene, because it's not on us, it's on the committee to determine the 1, the 2, and the 3-year term. Once that is determined, we don't want to add someone on because we don't know what term we're adding them on to, because the statute clearly says that the ethics committee determines that. And I apologize, I thought they had been confirmed. At least I can say directly to you all, they're going to be meeting and have a quorum to determine the terms. Y'all get that? And then we could, at that particular point, entertain a 3rd member that their term is clearly identified, because that person would come in for a 2-year term if the existing committee said that the vacant term is the 1-year seat. The only person that can determine terms right now is the committee itself, and they have not convened.
Mayor?
Yes, assuming we have a quorum.
Okay.
Yes.
All that's completely fine, and I think we can still discuss this person's application that was sent to us by city manager. And is it similar to the DDA, like to where, from what I gather, it's similar to the DDA to where they would nominate this person, or no?
No,
I'm sorry, I'm answering in my head. You were talking to him, I'm sorry.
No,
But no, first of all, the DDA, the nominations by DDA, that's in their bylaws. And as a courtesy, you all accept those nominations. You're not legally required to do so. So I want to make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
The ethics board appointments are yours to make, period. And the DDA appointments are yours to make, period. You all can consider the DDA nominations. You don't have to. The ethics board appointments are solely yours, and you don't have to consider any nominations from the ethics board members. That's your determination based on the applications you have before you all. I will add to what the mayor has said, is that y'all remember just in the revised ethics ordinance that you spearheaded, Councilwoman Kearney, we created a panel, right, an alternate of 3. So you're not only needing to have the 1 permanent appointment to fill your seat, we're also going to need to have 3 alternates. And so I'm hoping that the ad for ethics board member is continuing to run on our website prominently, so you all can get other applicants in to serve the panel appointment. So when you appoint the vacancy caused by your leaving and becoming a member of council, we also have 3 other appointments to make for alternates.
Right, I think.
Just 1 second. Also, can you clarify a little further that the vacancy that is open, we can tell you that it's a council vacancy, not a mayor's vacancy. So I just want to clarify that.
Yes, right. So Councilwoman Kearney and Ms. Charles were council appointees, and Mr. Larry Jones was the mayor appointee. And so we need those, Ms. Charles and Mr. Jones, to convene a public meeting, notice, and we will have them assign the terms between themselves, which of them is going to be the 2-year term member, the 3-year term member, and hopefully they'll make you, Councilwoman Kearney, the 1-year term member. It makes sense. They send the resolution back to you all, and you all will know the council has an appointment vacancy to fill for a full 2-year term. I'm hopeful that we'll also have alternates that you all can also appoint at that time, and so that your alternate panel can be appointed at the same time if you have enough eligible applicants who are responding.
No, I'm tracking everything, you're saying. I guess my thing is, since we've already had an application window, I think this application should go through as one, like, actual board member, and maybe we do another application period where that's for the alternate board members. And, cause I don't think one has to happen without the other, but I do want us to, of course, have those, alternate members just in case. But I'm saying the discussion of this person doesn't have to stop because of even the 1 year term of the two, because they could choose that Arlene wants to be my 1 year term, and then we have to put out a whole nother person, like, whatever they decide. I don't think that'll happen, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
So the reason it's premature for you all to take any action on any
I'm not
vacancy
taking-
now? Oh, tonight. Yes, I agree. You don't have to wait for your alternates, right? You can have your one vacancy. But what we need to know is, they never convened. The ethics board should have convened, and for whatever reason, nothing against them, but probably no one told them to. They should have convened, and that's okay. They didn't do it. It's not fatal. It's not fatal that they didn't, because they still can do it. And they just need to tell us who has what terms, because somebody's term is going to end January of 2027. One of Mr. Charles, Miss Charles, and Pastor Jones. One of them is going to have a vacancy. Their term is going to end in January 2027. The next one will have January 2028. Y'all need to know that, because before you appoint your new person, so y'all know what your fully constituted ethics board terms are. So we just need to, I believe the city manager was supposed to make contact this week with the two members to get a date set and ask them when they can meet so we can get this taken care of. And maybe he can let us know about that.
Right, and I think that can happen even within this week, 2 weeks prior to our next work session meeting. But, because from the minutes that we just approved, we said, June 1st, the last meeting, last Monday was supposed to be the date that we appointed the individuals. And then
Yes.
technically this meeting, we were supposed to swear those individuals in.
Yes.
So either way, those dates were gonna have to be pushed, which is fine with me. I don't have a problem with, at the next, meeting in July, us voting to appoint, possibly, if we have the information back, Miss Hussey, I don't know how to pronounce her name, and then swearing her in that following regular meeting. But I'm wondering why
agree.
that's stopping us from discussing her now, I guess is my question.
Oh, I don't think you are prohibited from discussing her.
Okay.
You're
'Cause
just
I
not
wasn't planning on
appointing her.
voting on
Yes,
her.
yes, ma'am. You can discuss.
Okay. Do you have anything? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Do we just go into discussion, or we're just in discussion? Okay. So with looking over her application, I know we still are waiting on the background check that needs to happen to decide or to see if she meets the requirement for, let's see. So no person shall serve on the ethics board who has been convicted of a felony involving moral turpitude in this state. So, and it looks like she meets all the other requirements, I guess, unless somebody's read something different, that she's lived in the city for a year, hasn't lobbied against the city or anything like that. She lives at New Dawn Court. And then I like that she's worked at, Atlanta Public Schools. And I think she also worked at another public school or something. But does anybody have any reason why y'all would be opposed to her? Oh, yeah, Board of Education, oh, she has the references as well, Board of Education members and stuff like that.
Councilwoman Fox?
Thank you. So, I'm not sure how far we can go in, but just verifying, you're verifying the content in the application, Mr. Cole?
I'm reviewing it and verifying what we can, but as to say if I'm doing a background check on the application, I wouldn't say that. But I would say we're looking over it and reviewing it, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I mean, because if someone, I don't know, I'm not disputing, I would hope in good faith that the information that they put on the application would be correct. But if, I don't know if we are able to, I guess the background, will the background check just really look at criminal, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So we assume that every application that is submitted for us, DDA, Historic Society, and Ethics, we assume on the application to be true.
Good faith.
And then in their oath, when they take the oath, they are saying up under oath that what they said to be true.
Okay.
So it's not like we do employee checks or anything like that. I don't think so. I mean, if something like strikes us, you know, then yes.
The requirement is not for them to be employed, not employed.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know what other, like, we don't go around to see
Yeah,
if they
check
live at the house where they
references
live, you
or
know.
anything.
All right.
Can I?
Council, Mayor Pro Tem?
All right. Well, to that point, I guess if it's in the updated language that they have to serve on the ethics board, have not been convicted of a felony involving moral turpitude and all of that good stuff, we don't have that in our application. And so I think that would be if it's in the requirements and it's not in the application, and we're not checking how.
It's on the very back page at the bottom. It says, are subject to an education and employment background check as well as a criminal history check.
We don't have that page? Yeah, we don't have, it's not, okay. It's not over here. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, just making sure. Other than that, though, to Councilwoman Kearney, to your question, I don't see anything, that would prevent me from accepting her. I do think that we should look back at the questions that we had on this application. I think it went into a little bit more detail, and I think the previous administration thought that detail was a little too much. But I would be open to us going back and reviewing and have some additional questions on this application.
Okay. Mayor,
Yes.
I'm also wondering if, I don't think that any of the current people that are on the board have any felonies or anything, but I'm wondering if that was checked the first time. So do we need to check to make sure they meet all the requirements as well, or do y'all think it's just what it is? I'm just trying to figure out.
Maria, do you remember, I'm sorry, Ms. Worthing, do you remember doing checks? Because all the checks would come either through you or chief. Anybody? Okay, and they would eventually come through you? Yeah. Okay, perfect, thank you. That's all I was going to say. Okay, we'll run them off.
Perhaps we can ask them if they remember and if they have the information. Because I think they would have had to sign something before, and so if they sign something, they would know, and we should have a record of that.
Is the
to
felony
verify.
only for the ethics board, or is it for all boards?
The applications would be for all of them, because this same application is the one that we've used.
So the background check is for the DDA board as well? I'm just asking, I don't know.
It could be. I mean, I don't think we've traditionally done it, but it could be.
I haven't seen the application, I haven't seen the DDA applications.
Mayor?
Yes.
I don't know, it may or may not be, but I know the ethics one is built into our ordinance, so it might not be that specific, so I don't know.
Yes.
And is there any way that we can communicate? I know we spoke about it. I don't know if we put it in any official language, but about running for this particular board or wanting to be a member of this board and then having intentions to run in an upcoming election? Because this is a cycle, right? I was on the ethics board, then took the seat, Councilwoman Kearney. And so I know we had talks about being on this board and being close to either side of the election, but if we can just either add the language or just communicate with this person or ask them, do you plan on running in the upcoming election, just so that we're not in this same boat, or is that an illegal question to ask them?
Yeah, I don't think we
that
need
would-
to ask.
I don't think
I
that
wouldn't
would be a
ask
fair
that
question to
question. Yeah,
Because
especially if, I don't think we should ask that question for a number of reasons. One, they don't really have to tell us that. And two, if they don't think they're gonna run, but then decide to run, that's just a matter of personal choice. And so they just will have to resign. You remember earlier this year, you all adopted a resign to run ordinance. If you're appointed to a member of a board, then you're gonna run for another elective office, you have to resign. So I think that's the most we can do.
Okay,
Yes.
and then just hope that we have a panel in place by then.
Yes, ma'am. And then have applicants, but hopefully you'll have your
I
alternates.
was about
That's what
to
I'm
say,
saying,
we'll
Right.
hopefully
have
that we have them in
alternates.
place by then.
And then, yes, and then you can pick from one of your alternates. I think that's the hope.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes.
I just want to change some dates. So I guess within the next 2 weeks, can we reach out to the current board members or appointees to see if they can meet at some point in order to, I think Attorney Wiley can lay out the
It
specifics.
was Thursday, was the Thursday of last week, we met with city manager, and we established a deadline. By this Thursday, he was to do just what you're about to say.
Okay, perfect. And
So if
then,
y'all want to just make it a directive. that'd be great.
okay, yes, that. And then, can we just say for the June 6th meeting, we want to vote to consider July 6th meeting to consider or discuss and consider appointees.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'll be sending you a email as well, Mr. Cole, about putting out, I guess I should wait until they convene first, but then I think we need to put out another application period for the alternate specifically.
Okay.
And then they're swearing in, or possibly Ms. Hussey's swearing in be July 13th.
So just out of due respect, all of those administrative tasks that we will go through and get back with you all, so we'll plan that and get it to you.
There is no reason that we can't, the Board of Ethics could not convene to have this meeting, and we'll, help them with the resolutions. But you're right, so it should be able to be done by those time frames, unless somebody's out of town, on vacation, or unavailable to come and
Okay.
meet. It's gonna be a 30-minute meeting,
Okay.
I think, so.
Okay. Mayor, I just want to make sure, what are the administrative parts? Is it the swearing in? Is the swearing in mandatory? Because
Oh, not the swearing in as far as the swearing in too, like where because we gotta run the background checks and things like that, so just making sure everything is in. I wanna make sure when we bring these on that we have done everything. So that's what I mean as far as administratively in, so that they are viable candidates when we come for that particular day. So we will set up an internal schedule that we hope will be followed, as well as scheduling that meeting for the two. So that's what I mean by administrative, making sure, because they gotta come in, they gotta sign for they have to sign for that thing, don't they, Chief? They have to sign for it, so that's what I mean, there's some administrative things to get to them, assuming that both of them are still both active members to convene a board, so that's the biggest thing right there. So we would take all of this and get the ball rolling.
Okay. Mayor,
All right.
I just want to make sure, do I need to do anything? Do I need to
No.
send you an email? Okay, I just
Absolutely
want to make
nothing.
sure I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do.
We met internally last Thursday
Thursday.
and discussed, and I anticipated this very topic being discussed. And so we discussed having communications with the current ethics board members by this Thursday to get dates that they can convene for their public meeting. I already have the resolution ready. I have the meeting notice. It's all, I've done that already. So we just have to get the date set and we can get that part done. But
Yeah, so as soon
I
as
agree with
everything
you. We need
happens-
to get it done soon.
Yes, so, and then once that is convened, then we'll start working on the next part. All right, good, next on the agenda.
Thank you.
Council to discuss hydration stations, letter F.
So this is more of an update, just on the hydration stations themselves. The price of them is below the purchase criteria in the new procurement policy, so we'll just go ahead and order. Sarge, if you want to
Yeah, skip to him.
pass that to me.
I'll review it and we'll get it done. I haven't seen it. All right, new business.
New business A, council to consider a resolution to increase the fund balance reserve line item 100-000-391215 and building and maintenance line item 1500-53-1171 by $9,100 to cover expenses related to 173 Cloud Street.
Mayor, I'm sorry, the hydration just went over my head. What happened?
Yeah, we need to review it internally. This is my first time seeing it, so I will get with Mayor Pro Tem once we get through it. I'm getting a copy like y'all are. So if y'all don't mind that we table it and get back with you all. All right.
Can we get the copies?
Oh, I don't know who was handing them out. Is this, who got the copy? Yeah, I wouldn't hang real tight on these copies because I haven't seen them, so just, but y'all can get whatever, y'all can get to them. Yeah, so,
Can
I
get-
apologize.
I'll need to make copies.
Did y'all get a copy over there? We'll get y'all a copy. I promise y'all, we will, by tomorrow by noon, y'all have a whole update via email. And it looks like it's up under the spending limit, so we'll be okay. We do know we couldn't get it from the Water Authority. All right, yes.
All right, Mayor, Council, I come before you tonight requesting a budget amendment. And this budget amendment is needed to cover some expenditures that are related to 173 Cloud Street in the amount of $9,100. So I'm requesting to increase the building and facility maintenance in the general administration budget, and then take the $9,100 from fund balance reserve.
That's our contingency, fund balance reserve, no.
Fund balance reserve is from using prior year.
Prior year, that's right, I get them confused.
Prior year, right.
Thank you. Council, if there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve, and then we can have further discussion.
Mayor,
Yes.
I just had a quick question. I know we had talked about we were gonna need to invest a little bit more. Is this the cabinet money, or is this something that went over in?
No, I think this is just to kind of close it out. We do know after there was some, Mr. Hurd, can you discuss it? There was some tree limbs that was affecting the water, but I think this was just the totality of the original cost of the renovation. It still has not gone over $40,000. This puts it to the $41,000. So the line item that this was originally coming out was not exclusive for this. So there were other items coming out. So this might be the cabinets, but it also may include the 2 or 3 different repairs, like the gas line for the stove. And what was it, Mark? What's that last thing with the plumbing?
It was roots that go into the sewer line.
Yeah, that was affecting the pressure for the whole house. So the Water Authority helped us with some of it, but then we did have to have a plumbing repair. And then there was an electrical repair for that was all the lights on the back of the house. The flood lights were not working, so they were just some, I guess I would call them punch list stuff. None of them over for like 1,800, 1,200, 13, just bits and pieces together. Was there a motion to approve? So,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Thank you so much. I will just, point of personal privilege, they're moved in, everything is settled, rent's being paid.
Awesome.
And I don't think we have any, it was just how, you know how they move in, and then once you start living in there, you start figuring out some stuff is wrong. And so, thank you, everybody, for getting that done.
Letter B, council to consider a resolution to increase the donation and sponsorship line item 100-0000-37-1025, and city events line item 100-1500-52-2321 in the amount of $22,500. This will allow for usage of funds donated to the city for events.
Mayor, Council, this is another budget amendment. I went through and was able to identify $22,500 that was donated as sponsorship for special events for the city. So in order to use those funds, we have to actually increase that line item as well as the city event line item, because you can't run any type of expenditures through the sponsorship donation revenue line item. So this is just to allow for those funds to be spent. So we will increase the budget by $22,500. So it's not pulling it from anywhere, because the funds have already come into the city.
All right, and those funds have been verified to have been received.
Correct.
And we have, I think, about $15,000 more to add, but if you all would go ahead and approve this so that we could keep our books balanced so that we won't have a problem.
Right.
Just trying to make sure when those sponsors come in that we make the necessary adjustments as soon as possible. And so we're lagging, so next month she'll have another total, even though it'll be after the event. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So made.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all so very much.
Thank you.
Letter C, council to discuss and consider a resolution adopting a City of Jonesboro social media and digital communication policy.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, please.
Members of council, this was a request this request came from Councilman A. Dixon, wanting to have a policy that we do not currently have that will communicate the limits of the usage of our official communication policies, the prohibited uses, establishing who owns these accounts, these are city-owned accounts, and setting forth criteria for accessing those accounts, any such account. I am happy to go through each section if that's the will of the body. I've sent this to you all. I don't think I got any questions, but if you have any this evening, or if you want me to go over any particular section, I'm happy to do so, whatever the pleasure of the body.
Mayor,
Yes.
only question I have is, I'm for this policy, by the way. If there's an employee that also lives within the city, how do we handle that?
So this policy prohibits city employees from engaging on your official platform to, well, let me just read the
Right, yeah, I'm
let me find that section. Because when you are a public employee, you can have your limits of your First Amendment rights can be somewhat limited with respect to engagement on official city platforms and discussing matters that the city, political matters or political disputes. The personnel manual also speaks to that. You don't want your city employees doing that, anything that can come back to look as though the employee is engaging specifically with public officials that way. Yes, you have First Amendment rights. Anybody does, whether you live in or outside the limits of Jonesboro. Let me find that particular section that
No, I see it.
speaks to it. You see it in
Yep,
here?
you're good. I just wanted to clarify that so we know exactly
What section was
the
that?
future.
That's on section 10, actually line 341, I believe. City employees shall not post to official city communication platforms unless authorized. Employees posting to official city communication platforms shall maintain a professional tone and shall not engage in personal arguments, sarcasm, ridicule, political advocacy, factional messaging, or personal commentary in the name of the city. Employees shall not use official city communication platforms to express personal opinions unless expressly authorized as part of an official city communication. This provision is in addition to any other rule or policy applicable to employee use of social media. And that is a direct reference to the personnel manual.
Also, Mayor?
Yes, Attorney Wiley, I'm not a big social, but post means respond, reply. Because sometimes when people say post, that means just the original post. This means that they can't reply. I don't want to get caught up in semantics, because I think post and reply two different things. Is that not in social media world? Y'all help me.
Post means whether you're initiating a post
Or responding.
responding to a
Okay,
post.
perfect.
And it has to be used for official city business only. If you're a city employee, you have to post using official city business parameters only.
Okay, so you can't, that includes posting, response, it includes replying. Everybody consistent with that?
So I was about to say, so it means on their personal pages too, not just the city page. They can't post anything criticizing the city on their personal pages?
Oh, no, on their personal page.
So
Yes,
they can?
they can. However, there's a big however, Councilwoman. You can post, but freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. So if you get on and you're not speaking on a matter of public concern, this is a first, if you're not speaking on the matter of public concern, if I'm an employee, Jane Doe, and I post on my personal page that I hate everyone, all the city council members, the mayor and council, I might have some consequences for that. Yes, I have First Amendment rights, but that doesn't mean that I'll have the consequences for posting that. So there are limits, even if you're a public employee, there are limits to what you can say that may have a detrimental impact on the operations of the government. And so that's another whole other personnel analysis that has to be done. So this policy only applies to official City of Jonesboro platforms. It does not apply to any personal social media accounts of employees or members of the elected body.
Okay. And again, they're able to post, but they just have to adhere, and we will share all this with council. The professional tone, the personal arguments, the sarcasm, but if they want to say, good job, I love this city, they can do that. All right, everybody good? I think this is well written. Thank you, Attorney Wiley, for getting this back to us. Was there any other additions or any further questions or anything like that? Okay. So at that time, I will entertain a motion for adoption.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Next item is the Economic Development Report by City Manager Cole.
Thank you, and hello again, Mayor and Council.
We have road
Oh,
closure.
I'm so sorry. We had one more road closure.
Sorry. New bit.
And I am so sorry. Council, I think if, Councilwoman Fox visited the farmer's market that's hosted by Arts Clayton, and at that time I called the chief. We're trying to bring awareness to us, so I know road closures have to come before you, and before I presented this as an actual, for permanency, they wanted, the next one, they wanted to try to bring it up front, and the street would be closed between, no? They did? Okay, Chief, would you like to add, Liv? Thank you. I haven't been in the office today, so I don't know what's been changed. Thank you, Chief.
So they did want to, Mayor, first off, good evening, Mayor and Council. They did want to express or explore the opportunity to move up front. However, when she met with the vendors to say, you know, we did great, we had great attendance and great turnout, they said that until they grow to that extent, they would prefer to keep it in the back on Broad Street only.
Oh, perfect.
Because the parking is more accessible for the elderly vendors and the patrons coming. They did enjoy the shade from the trees there on Broad Street because it was very hot.
Okay.
But they did ask that they could expand out to Church Street just adjacent to Arts Clayton. So the roadway would be blocked at the back driveway to the city lot going into the city green.
Yes.
They would still
from-
allow
Okay.
still allow patrons to go through the United Methodist Church to turn around. They could also turn on Riley Way before they approach that road closure. That way they could have possibly a food truck or more vendors to be on the end adjacent to Arts Clayton.
And that is public road,
That is correct.
correct, and you've approved that.
That's correct.
Council, can we go ahead and approve this and let them try it out this next time? And then we'll come back before you with July with the permanent dates for the remainder of the season, if that's, because everything is kind of trial and error. It's changing very fluidly.
Yeah,
But-
very fluid situation. So depending on the weather and the amount of vendors that show up, if they don't have the amount of vendors that show up, then everything would just be collapsed to Broad Street and we would not close that section. But we're preparing for the growth because it caught on pretty well.
Okay.
We had 3 vendors, I think it was, that added at the last moment. They popped up and said, hey, what do y'all have going on? They were vendors. They sorted it out with Miss Casey with Arts Clayton, and they joined the team. So,
Okay, perfect. So council, I'll entertain a motion to authorize me to give a street closure for the next one. Chief and I, if you all will authorize that, and then from there, we'll bring it back to you in July with the permanent plan. Yes,
Question.
yes.
Question first, I'm sorry. Isn't every second and fourth?
yes.
So you would need it for the next 2, right? This one and the third, am I not looking at the date?
the
13th and
13th.
27th?
The 13th is the
This
second
next
one.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the next one, we'll have a work session before the next one. Am I
Is it
looking
the
at
next
my
one, the
dates wrong?
27th?
So we've had one for June, haven't we?
Mhm.
May. Okay, well, hold on a second.
This
So
is the first one for
13th
June.
The 13th and the 27th, right?
Yes.
The 2nd and the 4th.
Yeah,
So you
okay,
need
I'm
it for
sorry.
both dates, and then we'll come back in July. So. I
Yes,
make-
for the 13th, yes, please.
I make a motion to
Thank
approve
you.
for the rest of the month of June to explore the option of road closures if so needed.
Yes, and for the record, can we just say what the road closure, I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, and those dates and those road closing?
So we'll authorize road closures to include, South Main from West Mill to, what's that second street? I just want to
Well-
I want to include it all in case anything changes, then it's
Okay.
covered. You can modify. So what is that street?
West Mill is Church Street.
Yes. So I want to authorize maximum street closures from South Main from West Mill to Church Street.
That's correct.
And allow Chief to make the necessary fluctuations. Because we get 20 vendors, they might say next week, yeah, we want to go to Main Street, so I want to have it
That's
covered.
correct.
But that's to include maximum street closures.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Make a motion to approve maximum street closures from South Main to Church Street, on
It'd be
June,
from West Mill Street.
West Mill Street.
Yes,
To
it's
Church.
South Main from West Mill Street to Church Street.
Exactly what Chief said, on Saturday the 13th and Saturday the 27th.
Second.
Any discussion? All in
Um,
favor?
well-
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Oh, this might be off topic. Are we able to help them with signage? I think signage, like when I went, it wasn't as visible. Are we?
Oh, I thought it was huge signage. You had the little fans
Yeah,
going
they-
on and
that was-
stuff.
They did
That was
request,
one.
could they put them out the evening before?
Or, yeah.
To
Okay.
notify the traffic going in, and we did tell them that that would be okay. Because they
Okay.
have an event center, so that signage would be covered under the event center for
Okay.
Arts Clayton.
Perfect, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you so very much. This time we'll have our economic development report by our city manager. Thank you, council.
All right, Mayor, council, good to see y'all again. First thing that I would like to do for the economic development report is to brag on the staff that we have here at the JCC. Derry, Pat, Maria, and then the court staff have worked very hard to bring all of our business licenses to date. They haven't gotten them all the way to date, but we have 636 registered businesses with 70 more registrations that are pending. Now, we may not have all 70 come in, but we are still gonna be 25 to 30 over where we were last year. Kudos to them for getting all this work done. We have 40 restaurants on the books, 40 health providers, 59 professionals, and then 90 various retailers. Of course, the majority of business licenses in the city are for personal services, be it hair, nails, stuff like that. But we are growing the number of restaurants. The number of health providers is very promising. And then our budget projections for the occupational tax certificate will be over what we projected in the budget. So we're gonna bring in a little bit more money for that. As Chief said, the farmer's market went off a couple of weeks ago and was just phenomenal. Casey and everybody up there just really bragged about it. We're glad to see that happening because the farmer's market that we had in front of Lee Street Park was very well received. And so to see something come back again in that same vein is very encouraging. We continue to have economic developments meetings and agenda work, working with Develop Clayton on partnerships and then future developments. We had a very positive conversation with the Georgia Power Retail Economic Development Team. They have some money that they're trying to decide how to allocate. And then we have also had some coordination with Clayton counties, the county government, talking about some improvements on Terra Boulevard, talking about some work to do on Main Street, and then talking with the tax commissioner. We're getting ready to go into budget and tax digest season, so Commissioner Smith has had regular phone calls for us, and it's been very helpful in communicating with her and her staff. I would like to remind you that we have our comprehensive plan, survey, QR codes are out and available. Please pass this around as much as you can. We are hoping to get into the hundreds on the survey responses. This is one of the biggest ways that the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee knows what people want in Jonesboro is by filling out this survey. So please make sure you are able to push that. Let's see. We also worked on the affiliate Main Street MOU, got that put up and sent over. We also got the sub-license for Main Street America. working on the DDA board capacity and the quorum, and then just continue to work on available opportunities. I had a conversation with a potential investor today looking at a car wash or some other type of business. Informed him of where the opportunities are, some vacancies in some of the brokers that have brokered property in the city. Are there any questions for economic development?
I got a question, Mayor.
Councilman Alfred Dixon.
Gotcha. Appreciate this report, City Manager Cole. And just a question in regards to economic development. I've been speaking to some of the businesses, I guess maybe particularly on Terra Boulevard. And I want to know if we can explore, just take a look at our signage policy for marketing these businesses, or what kind of opportunities are available. Some of the business owners feel like they're a little strapped, that they can't market their business. People may not be able to see their business, so just trying to see like what can we create.
Absolutely, we are. So Chief and Code Officer Walker does a great job of keeping track of that. If there are certain types of signage that they feel they need in order to advertise their business, just come and talk with us, and maybe we can help educate them and explain how or where or why. Now, if they're wanting to put signage in the right of ways or put it in other places, we can't do that. But yes, sir, we can absolutely help them. So if any of them call you, please just refer them to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And
Yes,
also, I just want to be clear, there is a policy for signs, and if we don't like the policy for signs, then we need to revisit it, because
Yes.
I've had a number of concerns, but the
Yeah.
code enforcement is in alignment with our
Mhm.
current signage policy, because we have both hands. We have citizens that complain about sign litter, and that businesses are just popping up signs looking like, and then they have the businesses, so it goes too forth. But if you could, this week, send the sign ordinance to the council,
Sure.
I think it might be
Absolutely.
beneficial for
Yes,
everybody to just be aware of the process for that. Were you speaking of like us purchasing signs? You said some, or,
No, just trying to see exactly what's on the books as of right now when it comes to business marketing or business using signage to market their business.
okay, the business, okay, yes, let's
Yeah.
get you a copy of that and then go from there. And if that's
Yeah.
something that we want to revisit, then I think we can. But I will be honest with you, I look at other cities and I look at other places, and when we let signs go loose, like I know it gets to be a little messy.
Yeah, and I
So,
guess.
so we'll,
yeah,
let's look
Mayor.
at what we have and go from there. I think that's something definitely to look into.
Yeah.
Councilwoman, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I guess like, and even, of course, because I understand what you say, look at other cities and you see what that may look like. So not even if it's, trying to put signage out there, but how can we work with these businesses to make sure that the word is out about their business?
Mhm.
We get a marketing class for them. Perfect. We got
Mhm.
funds for that.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Kearney?
Thank you for the presentation. It looks like this is a whole different format or template as well. It looks good.
Yes, ma'am, it is a different format. I wanted to try something else to give you guys a little bit more of a view of
Yeah.
everything. So if y'all like this, please, I'm open to feedback, more or less, whatever helps you guys know.
No, I'm cool with it.
And-
I did want to let you know that I did want to add a few items possibly to July if I can get to it. But if someone could let us know, like, what all seats are vacant on all of these different boards? Because I know we might have enough for a quorum on some. I'm just wondering, like, what does the vacancies look like? And then I know we're still talking about the council retreat, so I don't know.
I have an update for that in my city manager report.
Okay. And then I don't know if at some point we can I want to add a line item where we literally talk about grease traps and dumpsters, because I think that's really what's
Yes.
holding us up with
Mhm.
our downtown development. So if we need to do some research on our side as well to bring some ideas or some quotes or something, let us know. But I really would love to add that for us to discuss in July.
Absolutely, and as a quick update to that, Faith is out of the office this week, but we have already started talking with DPH in coordination with them and Clayton County Water Authority to help with the permitting, kind of streamline that, communicate back and forth about the restaurant locations. We have 36 locations that have restaurants from DPH. I'd like to make sure the other 4 are in there. I'm sure that they are because they went through the whole process, but I'd like to add them to our list because I know that I have 36 on the list. And then it would be helpful to have that conversation around the dumpsters, because a lot of times trash and solid waste, especially for restaurants, especially downtown, tends to be clustered. And the restaurants downtown don't have space to have their individual dumpsters, so we need to plan and prepare for that.
Right, absolutely. And then on the side with the grease traps, I know there's a citizen, Mr. Dillon. I forget his last name. It's Corrales or Morales, but I know he said he either has or works with a plumbing company that's within the city of Jonesboro. So even if we look at that, like of course doing the fair procurement policy or you know proposal, whatever. But if we do have some people with some knowledge and we can keep that money inside of Jonesboro, you know, of course, fairly, that'd be great. And then I don't want this to be lost, but somebody made a public comment, I think a couple, like maybe a month or two ago, Miss Amanda Bear about the tennis backboard and the artwork. I just don't want it to get left off. I understand there's a lot, we're working on the economic plan and everything, but I just want us to still.
I saw that comment and I made a note of it myself, so thank you for reminding me about that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the presentation. I myself was trying to balance, do I want to talk about this in economic or work for the city manager report? Thank you for wearing both hats. So I was wondering if I can get a list of the 40 restaurants that we have in the city. I don't know if council was aware, but I made a proposal to a DDA about a Taste of Jonesboro, possibly hosting a Taste of Jonesboro, to ensure that the restaurants feel just as supported as they can from the city. And so something kind of like the taste of you see in other cities, but just having all of the restaurants downtown, all of the restaurants meet together at Lee Street. But I want to make sure they're on board. And I know that DDA, you know, we're just refilling the boards and things like that. And so I don't want it to slip because they have to still have their adjustment period for the new members. And so if I can get a list of the restaurants and maybe we can collaborate on something that you think is appropriate to blast out to them. I also want to know if I could have some of the steering committee surveys printed and put in a box in our mailbox. And then I was wondering what it looks like cost-wise, and I don't know if this is an administrative task, about maybe like a flyer. We have a lot of things happening in the summer. We probably can't get it out in time to put Juneteenth on it, but we can at least do the 250 blast, let people know what all we're having there, let them know about the summer series, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in my council mayor pro tem thing at the end of the meeting. But something that we can send out in the next couple of weeks, and on the back have the steering QR code and some other QR codes. And so it's dual purpose. We're not just asking them for something. We're letting them know what we have going on. It's not as big as the newsletter, which I appreciate, just a quick blurb to get it on their mind. So I was wondering if we can look into that and see if we have the money to send that out to the community. And then on here, I don't know if it was mentioned, but we talked about the DDA, IGA, and my heart has been wondering if that's something we could just kind of put a pause on. Because we have these new members. I think when I sat in the last meeting, there was hesitancy about what they're going to accept and what they're pushing back on. And I think some of it is just because some of the things that were talked about that made this necessary weren't from the members that were on the current board. And so since we're adding 2 new members, I was just wondering if we can pause on that so that they can have a chance to be comfortable in what DDA is before they were asking them to make a conversation about this IGA. And that can be between mayor and our ex-official, but I just want to put that out there because I saw it here, and that was just on my heart from the last meeting.
Thank you.
So we don't overwhelm them before they start, and give them roles and ask them to accept roles that they may not know what all comes with. So that's it for my questions for the economic report.
I do want to add to that, and I'm learning, well, my new understanding is that I feel like the board should come in with an understanding of a relationship kind of pre-established. Because every time we get a new board, they're gonna come through with their different thoughts of what should and should not be. And Attorney Wiley kind of explains this best, and when I went through a training, we, to a certain degree, drive the relationship with the DDA. I don't say it as nicely as you do, Attorney Wiley. So I do think putting a hold on an IGA to wait for members to come up to get informed, to get their training. Last time we offered the training, they had 30 days to fill it. I don't think anybody finished their training. So we also run the risk of people getting on board, even though the training is mandated in the first year. They don't have to get it before then. So I do feel like we still need to have some conversations on what we want and how to relate, because we drive it. Attorney White, can you explain it like a little bit better than I was telling her what I saw in the class, and she agreed but explained it a little differently.
Well, I hope I remember the conversation. It's not coming to me, but the relationship, the DDA is a component unit of the
That
city.
word right there, component unit.
Component unit of the city. We're family, that's a plainer way to put it. And I think there's merit in what Mayor Pro Tem said. That's it. That's all I have, Madam Mayor, unless
So
there's
can you
something
explain
more.
what the component, like they're not beneath us, but we determine, how you say it?
Yep. The city is the funding. We're the funding agent for the DDA. If you look at subsidiaries, we're the parent entity, and they support the city in its mission to help revitalize downtown and do things like having a taste of for the restaurants or downtown activities. And so even with our comprehensive plan, there should be a development component to that the DDA, I think, should be, a part of, and hearing and understanding and being involved in carrying out the mission and function of this governing body. So I think communication is a good thing, and I also think that even when we have a retreat, that we have a component, we have an opportunity to invite that body to y'all's retreat, and we all can discuss how we operate as a family, because that's what we are.
And I think, council, I would highly recommend that all council people, because I feel like it behooves us to not go into an MOU with the DDA and not have an understanding of the DDA.
Agreed.
It's $50, it's 30 days to take, I think. Did you finish it?
Yeah, I'm halfway through. I have a comment to
Okay,
add
yes.
to that.
I took it, y'all, it's imperative that
Yeah.
we take it, because we're making decisions on behalf of the DDA without us even having a thorough understanding. So I would ask that we continue to push through with the MOU. I believe all of us in here are not trying to shortchange the DDA. We want the DDA to thrive, but I also feel like it might be better, just from what has happened the last year, that the DDA comes in with something that's already established that we deem as fair. To kind of give them, because I want them to come in this time to get the training and to begin the work, not to have to do the muddy waters of it. They have a big thing to task with, and that's the lease for Nuvo. Like, it expires in October. That's gonna be like on their lap. So I think us determining what we want to give, or work with, not give like they're begging or anything like that. I still think we should continue those conversations and at least us be on the same page as far as what we're willing, and then have them come back. That's just my thought. Councilwoman Fox.
So I think I understand what both of you all are saying, and I agree. Being on the board and then now retaking that training again, because this is my first time going through the DDA, there was a disconnect. The disconnect is we presented them with the IGA, but as I went through the training myself, it answered a lot of the concerns that they had. So I think prematurely, in this trial and error, and it's not necessarily a mistake, but I think in good faith, as you all say, like, we're working together with them. If they would have taken the training fully and then we entered into the IGA, it would have been, in my opinion, a much smoother process, because it even re-answered a whole lot of questions and reminded me of the training again. And to Mayor's point, I think everybody should take a class on the DDA, because think about it. We're asking volunteers who are volunteering, they're not on payroll, they're volunteering because they absolutely love their community. We're asking them to come and handle, number one, a large sum of fund that they have in their DDA account. So we're asking them to manage that. Number two, we're asking them to sign and go into an agreement and facilitate property sales or closures or assets on our behalf, and they don't have the training. Some of them may be residents. Some of them may not even know anything about being a real estate agent. So I think implementing that training first and then introducing them to the different assets, because while they do have a large task, they have to be equipped and trained for that. So for me personally, I personally took emotional intelligence and saw where it's not that they were hesitant because they didn't know. It's not that they were trying to be combative. They just honestly was unlearned. And we, in my opinion, as council, dropped the ball by not giving them that training, but ahead of time.
Mayor.
Just we gave them the training. Some of them still didn't take it, but they have a year. By state law, don't they have a year to change? They have a year. So we just want to make, I don't know if we want to change, I don't know if we can make it more restricted. We can't make it more restricted than the state law, so we still have to give them a year. Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Kearney, or whoever wants to go first.
No, you can go, Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Sorry.
I appreciate the discussion. I truly do. If we're all gonna be on the same page about moving forward with some form of IGA, and I know y'all work so hard on it, but I just feel like the spirit of the previous one, if we're gonna continue to move forward with it, I think I would like to explore staggering some responsibilities. Because again, I don't know that these new members are as passionate about the changes that are in there as whatever prompted the changes to be there now. And I'm trying to say this in the best way. And so I don't know if we've been working this DDA a certain way. People are applying based on the way that we've been working this DDA. And now we're saying, now you're on here, here you go. I don't have a problem with vetting or having a guideline to the relationship, but I don't want to, I would like to stagger some of the responsibilities until trainings are had, until people are comfortable. What responsibilities we can discuss. I'm on board with them having some, but I think completely cutting ties right now where we're getting a brand new board for the most part is unfair.
And I appreciate that, but I don't think I want to go back and look at the MOU, the IGA. I don't think it's cutting ties.
Or maybe not cutting, but we're giving them a lot more than we had before. We didn't even, when we discussed this on council, it was like, well, how many houses do y'all have?
Yeah.
Well, how many things are you gonna have to pay for? Well, are y'all gonna be able to?
But I think if we bring that up, then we can make that decision in fairness to them. Like if we can say that we'll keep cutting their grass. We can look at the numbers. I can tell you what the numbers look like.
Yeah,
but
I just want us to talk and restructure it together.
So I think we can restructure, but I don't want to have to wait on, because I don't know if they know what they should know to make the decision. But I do feel like we can make the decision for them and be fair. Nobody's trying to bankrupt them. I can tell you that they can't afford to pay this because the numbers are show. So I would just want us to continue the conversation on it as a board.
Mayor?
That's my thought. Okay, go ahead. Attorney, Councilwoman Kearney.
I think we should just appoint the members and then kind of see where I think they want to go as a board, because I'm for IGA if they want it, but if they possibly don't want an IGA, then I think we could be possibly open to that as well. And if we want to push back and we want to say, hey, no, we absolutely want an IGA, then great, okay. But also, I don't think we should try to, because the optics of that to me just look like, okay, let's rush in and make the IG what we want it to be possibly. I understand what you're saying, and I know that we have clear minds, and we of course want to operate with the best foot forward for our DDA. But I just don't want the optics to possibly be, oh, we got brand new members, let's make it what we want to make it, and have them vote with their possible ignorance of where they are and their lack of training, whatever. And yeah, I think we should just take a beat on the IGA, maybe push it to the right if that's the case, unless they want it right then. And then when it comes to the training, I think what we're doing for training right now is, I think it's fine, just meeting the requirements. I don't think it has to be before they get sworn in, they need to do the training, because like you said, if there's not a state requirement, I don't think we should apply that as well. I think a lot of them are business owners or just grown adults, so I think they can handle it, I'm pretty sure. Like, none of us had that much training before we came up here to be council people, let's just be honest. But
thank you, Councilwoman Kearney. And I want to say this, how we got to the IGA is, we can't ignore that. We were going just fine, and it got to the point where, no, we need to know what we can do. So I feel like, so that we don't revisit, I learned from the past. I'm sorry. I learned from the past. I have been accused of helping the DDA too much, giving the DDA this, and I was out of line giving the DDA. So I need some guardrails, even down to a water heater. And no one's trying to say we're not giving, but when we had a gentleman's handshake, it didn't work and it blew up all in our face. So we got to learn and take lessons from, not that anybody did wrong, but like I said, we had a gentleman's handshake and had been going just fine even before I became a mayor. And then it was like, no, you can't do this, but we want to do this and we want to do that. So it's almost like supporting a child. Like, I'm not trying to strengthen their neck to where they can't function. No, let's sit and let's be fair. But I don't ever want to sit and be accused as the over, whatever that word is you just said, because we was doing or we were doing too much. So we cannot forget how we got here. We could have stayed with the gentleman's handshake, but I don't think, now it's too late. We can't, I don't feel like it's an option not to have an IGA. You just gotta learn from it. Now, what that IGA looks like, let's make it fair, let's make it reasonable, but when we started looking at, the city been doing this, this, and this, and this. So you can't say you want the city to do this, but then wanna do an ethics complaint because I paid for a water heater at Nouveau. Does that make sense? And I don't want, we got a clean slate going on here. So I want everything in place, so can't nobody accuse me of nothing. Attorney Wiley, I probably said it just so rudimentary, so.
So, yeah, Madam Mayor, I do want, because, you know, I drafted the IGA in response to an IGA that was proffered. So the city did not initiate the IGA process. And I also want to just say that, yes, I attended one meeting, and there was a sentiment of the clear responsibility, the demarcation of responsibilities. And the only way you're going to get that kind of clarity is through an IGA. Now, I do know that once we did the IGA, when you put things on paper, sometimes, you know, it brings a different level of understanding, and maybe we can have that conversation. I support pausing, putting a pause on it. I don't think that perhaps there was a meeting of the minds for all the DDA board members as to what they wanted to do. And maybe we need to have that conversation, because we cannot enter into a unilateral IGA. So for a practical standpoint, there is no quorum, so we don't have anyone to enter into an agreement with until they get a quorum. And if they don't agree to it, then we won't have one. So we're still gonna operate under the gentlewoman's handshake that we've been operating under for years, that a lot of jurisdictions do. So I think this was a good learning experience, and moving forward, I think we just need to have better communication between the two entities. I know the mayor's probably gonna kill me for saying that, and then just understanding exactly what they want. And maybe they didn't know I don't know, but I do know that I don't want the city to be viewed as the aggressor in this situation, because we were told that's what they wanted. At least that was the impression that was presented when I was present at a meeting, and I think we had a proposal on the agenda for an IGA. So.
Thank you. So to clarify, the IGA didn't come from our side, but because of the challenges that we received, Okay. I talk to Mike. So it did not come from us. So now we can't say, oh, let's forget the IGA. No, it was bad,
We don't have anyone to contract
Well,
with
no,
right now.
I know we can't get on that end, but that doesn't mean that we can't accept, because we're in charge, y'all. The parent, but it's a good word there. Yeah, so the IGA was put on us, and so now they saying they don't want the IGA.
Mayor.
Some of us are saying, no, I'm sorry, let me get it right. I've been working with my words. Y'all want to hold off on this IGA for the next, and what I'm afraid of, and I'm just being honest, the next group gonna come, and they're gonna be, and they're gonna do the same thing. We're not supported. We don't know what we have. Everything is vague, and they're gonna go through that whole rigmarole that we went through this last year. So y'all, how can we help that? What
Mayor.
can we do to fix that if it's not through IGA? Councilwoman Fox.
So
I'm
I
sorry.
want to clear the
I'm
record.
sorry.
They didn't, I was the one who requested for the IGA. They did
Okay,
not
she did.
ask for the IGA, and I'm a member of council, so if I'm part of the governing body. So Santia Fox, part of the governing body, requested the IGA because there needs to be some clear boundaries. Now, the hesitancy came on the DDA side is because they just, again, if they would have had the training first, because I personally went through the training, this is my second time, it answered all of the hesitancy, and in good faith, if we would have just had better communication. The IGA is a good thing. I personally like rules and policies. I like to have an understanding of what my roles are so that I can make sure that I'm performing it. And certain language were introduced that they were not familiar with. However, now that if they have done the training in its entirety, those language would have been they would have been familiar with it. So there is nothing this was a brand new board. They didn't come with all of that. They didn't, unfortunately, they did receive some of that backlash, and that wasn't fair to them. So what I'm trying to do, because I've experienced it as personally as a board member, they need training. And we want to set up the new board, the fresh board, to win. So we want to set them up with the proper tools to win. And we want to leave everything in the past.
Okay, so I just want to say this. Until we get an IGA, I need guidance, because I could right now not cut their grass because we don't have an IGA to says their grass to be cut. And so what I don't want is to get a board that gets the whiff of somebody in their ear to saying, well, why y'all cutting our grass? That's what it boiled down to. There is so much that we're doing through a gentleman's handshake. So either we need to establish what y'all want me to continue to do. We don't have a DDA board. So what happens if Nouveau comes up tomorrow and needs a repair done? Am I going to be criticized because I went ahead and fixed the repair on the city's dime? And that's what was happening before. So whether y'all wanted to call it an IGA or MOU or just whatever, but I do not want to be on this dais having to defend decisions that I make for an entity that is clearly connected to us. And so to me, the only way to cover that is an IGA. Now, we can't have a mutual agreement because there's no one on the other side. So I understand that, but that doesn't mean we can't have ours set up. And it doesn't mean that we can't have a motion that tells us what to do now. So if tomorrow Nouveau I want to use it, Restaurant A calls and says, something happened, what I'm supposed to do? I'm going to fix it. But when I fixed it before, I was criticized. If we had an ethics board, I probably would have been before the ethics board. So you all help direct me in how I can prevent things like that, because I'm a mayor that's about getting it done for all entities. And we had that situation come up over and over and over again. And each time I was criticized and talked about. I don't want that. So I can either do one or two things. Because it's a gentleman's handshake and nothing's in place, I can just advise city stop doing everything. But that wouldn't be right. Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
So I guess to your point, if we can revisit the IGA, I don't almost like the loosest version of it. And so I hear, the point of Councilwoman Fox. Training is helpful, and we do have training in place, but that's not all I heard at the meeting. I heard questions about when we're saying, hey, can you provide these documents? Well, what does this document look like? Well, do we have a template? No, we don't have a template. Well, we should expect everybody. I don't think that that's something that is training. I think this is something that the city used to cover. The city has a way of how we used to do it. We're asking you to continue the things that the city was doing on our behalf, and there's no, y'all are brand new. And so to just say, here you go, we're not gonna do all of these things anymore. So I'm okay with having an IGA. I would like it to be very loose, and if we can put it in that we revisit it the next year and strengthen it once they are strengthened as a body, I'm fine with that. But guardrails, so you know what to do and not to do, so you can't be criticized. But those nuanced things that we're putting on brand new people, these are and Mr. He's a business owner forever, and it's not that he was intimidated by it, but again, these are volunteers that were asking to do all of these things. Yep. And so I would like
to start with the amen corner. I'm trying to hear. Go ahead.
I would like to just kind of revisit the duties and responsibilities that we're asking these new people to do. Still protect the city, but just not make it so heavy until they can get their footing.
And I think that's kind of hard because, again, y'all haven't had the training. And so what you're asking and saying, so it's two things. Duties and responsibilities of the board and the IGA are two very different things. And I almost like, can we pause the DDA and just so we can clear the air? But we're not asking them, like there was never a template for a report. Never. There was never a template for a board. So different people are gonna have different capacities. So however they wanted that report to look, we could have been fine. But it's two things. Duties and responsibilities is separate from an IGA.
They were going through the IGA. This is something that he mentioned from the IGA conversation.
Well, first of all, from the way you're talking, I'm just thinking, I don't think you read the most recent IGA.
I'm talking about what I heard in the meeting.
Okay, well then I think let's get the IGA.
In the meeting when they were talking.
Yeah,
about
so I think,
no.
I think we need to look at the IGA because I think so what you're referring to is this parent that we have. So let's start with getting everybody to copy the IGA. The IGA, what you're referring to, I think might be the bylaws because the IGA is not tight like that. Okay.
Madam Mayor, the only thing they were required to provide, and this is quarterly summarizing report summarizing their activities, current and prospective projects, and any other information reasonably requested. It's just letting the public know what the DDA is doing quarterly, and they could have come back and said, we want to do it semi-annually. And then if they have to do a budget, if they want to do an annual budget, so we know we can have the $10,000. If they wanted $12,000 one year, then they would provide that to the, so there are no, I want to be clear, there are no onerous requirements in the IGA. This is the most benign IGA that I could write. I think some of the obligations, probably, the responsibilities may have been what was jarring, whereas the city had been taking care of everything, and then when the IGA proposes that the DDA take care of everything because they didn't like what the city was doing on certain things, that just required them to come back and say, well, no, we want you to continue taking care of those things. We could have put that in the IGA. But I don't want the impression to go out to the citizens that this IGA was burdensome or somehow imposed unreasonable requirements on them that were too extensive for a layperson board. It really wasn't. And it was only initial offer and initial proposal, and that they were going to come back. I think that's important to note.
Yeah, I think that might have just been confused between the bylaws and the what is it called, IGA? IGA, yeah. Yes.
Okay,
So we'll, hold on, so just, I'm coming to you. So let's add discussion of the IGA to July, just so that we can begin to decide what's fair. And we don't have to vote on anything, but that's what I'm suggesting.
Mayor,
Yes.
I don't think we should add that, and I'm gonna say that because we already got to a point where we approved it on our side, and it's now on the DDA. So we were we were at the DDA, we did, but we were at the DDA level where we went through with all the different recommendations that they said they wanted, and then we talked about it in the meeting, and then they wanted a lawyer because they didn't feel comfortable with even the edits and recommendations that they were saying, mainly due to the financial side, the report side, and things like that. Now, initially, of course, yes, a council member asked for the IGA, and now it sounds like we are both wanting the IGA for protection purposes, and if that's the case, it can just be an IGA, if that's something that everybody's, still wanting. But I will say that the newer board that was just had, that was not a completely new board, by the way. There were still members that were on the old board that moved up to, I guess you could say executive board level positions, but they were still a part of whatever the past DDA. So currently it's on them, and if we want to give them a certain time limit of like time to review that, or if they want to revert back to whatever changes the board members who've now resigned made, and we can discuss that, but I don't know how much time you want to give them to feel comfortable. Like, if you want it to be 3 months, it can be 3 months. If you want it to be 6 months, if you want it to be as soon as, because we just voted on the members, so technically they do have a quorum come Monday, unless the swearing in process takes a longer time than what I'm, acknowledging. So I don't know what people would recommend up here, though.
No, thank you. I totally forgot about that piece. So it's back on there. I know it didn't sound right. Okay. So now that makes sense. Perfect.
And then we were going to bring it back to you all, take their concerns,
Yes.
work on it, and then bring it back to you all. So if they want to have that transition period, say we want a whole year, we would like the city to continue doing all these things to next year. I mean, we can put that's something we can put in the IGA. At least we have clear direction, Madam Mayor, that yes, they want us to continue doing those things. So I think we should just wait.
Okay. I totally forgot that we had approved it. So thank you. All right, so we're good, and if something happens at Nouveau, I'll just take care of it.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Next on the agenda.
The item is finance report.
Mayor, Council, I'd like to present to you on the financial report as of April 30th, 2026. I'm gonna go ahead and, move on while he's, bringing that up. But you should have in your packet a copy of the report. So I started the executive summary, see where revenues are at 38% of the budget. Right now, the taxes are coming in strong at 45%, miscellaneous collection at 66%. And all departments are definitely operating below budget. Within the next page, which is the revenue summary, it just kind of, like I said, it reflects where taxes are at 44.88% of the budget. We have the miscellaneous in it's up. Okay, thanks. Okay, so this page here, so we have miscellaneous at 66.45%, and what makes up that in the miscellaneous is that there was a payment that came in from the National Leagues of City for $18,674. So unless the mayor knows what that money was for, it's sitting right now in the miscellaneous revenue.
That was for the Southern Cities Economic Initiative. What was that amount again?
It was $18,674.
That came in from NLC?
Correct.
Yeah, that's one of the payments for the SCEI grant.
The LCEI grant? Okay.
SCEI grant.
Yes.
Well, I need Taylor to make sure we can get the money from nowhere
Okay.
else.
All right.
But I'm almost positive. And we can
Okay.
look at a total of all payments received from them. But I
Okay,
think that should
all right.
cap off our
Well, we'll
total.
get that moved out of miscellaneous, because right now, that's what's causing that to be at 66.45%. We have contributions, of course, at 51.25%, and we just did that budget amendment for that particular line item. So I'm gonna go over to the next page, which is a revenue overview of those overage. And so we have within the electric, which is a part of the taxes, it was $54,405 more than was actually budgeted, and that's because of the Georgia Power franchise fee that came in around about February. This causing that line item to be over, which is a good thing. We have building permits, which is collected about $2,700 more than budgeted. Talked about miscellaneous, and we have the city center facility rental collected at about $1,585 more than what was budgeted. And then we have sale of assets, which came in at $16,143, and there's no budget for that. We'll move into our departments, and right now, what I look at is the percentage of departments. And so right now, this was the fourth month within the budget cycle. No one is over 33%, so that is a good thing. We have general administration, which came close at 30.65%, but like I said, that's much less than 33%. If anybody was trending over 33% at the end of April, then that would have been a concern for us. But everybody is trending at a good point right now. Definitely want to make note that within the general admin building and facilities right now, and you'll see that within the detailed report that I provided with this financial report, that $115,153,1171 is over budget, but right now, we're not worried about that, because as long as they don't go over the supplies category, they will be good. If the supplies category, which is all your accounts that start with the 53, if it was to go over, then we'd be concerned and say we need to do some type of either a transfer from some other line item within the 52 budget. But right now, that's okay, but I definitely want to highlight that. Then we have our all other funds. We have hotel, motel. Revenue is still at over the expenditures with a collection of $15,157. We have the SPLOST revenue at $377,383. And of course, expenditures are still trending higher than the revenue, but the city is projected to have revenue of $1.4 million that will come in for 2026. And solid waste is still trending with revenue higher than expenditures as of end of April. And so here with the general fund, we're looking in the truest at the end of April, it was $4.9 million. In the municipal court, we have, $3.4 million. And I'd like to see that note there where transfer to the general fund of $689,609.94. Talked with the mayor about that particular transfer, so we're gonna bring something back to the council next month. Because not only with that particular transfer that's due to the general fund, we have the SPLOS, which right now is sitting at $1.1 million, but SPLOS currently owe the general fund about $670,000. So general fund will have close to $1.3 million coming back to it from municipal court and SPLOS. The council will have to make a decision of how you're gonna use those funds, and I know the mayor has some ideas that she wants to bring before you. But just wanted to make you aware of that. And then also I want to go back to the municipal court with that $689,000 that come from fees that are collected on the tickets through court. So Ms. Francis and I were supposed to be on a webinar in the morning at about 10 o'clock that's going to talk about the fees, because she was thinking that there was a special law or some rule that says that those fees are supposed to be used by court. So hopefully during that webinar, they will give oversight as to how those fees are supposed to be used, because I mentioned to the mayor and to City Manager Cole that I'm used to the fees being used for technology improvement for overall for the city, so that anyone could use that as long as there is a ordinance or resolution that's put forth by the governing body. So that's the end of my report, Mayor.
Any council's questions? Any questions, council? Councilwoman Fox?
Thank you so much, Ms. Karen. I recently, I don't know if you're CC'd on the email or not. I wanted to get the list of grants. I know that that's something that needs to be calculated. Are we able to get that by next month, before your report meeting? Just a list of grants, where we are, how much we received. And do those funds go to, is that a separate line item, or they go to general funds?
No, there's a special grant fund. They have to be kept separate from the general fund.
If we can just kind of start getting an update quarterly, I don't require it every month, but just like where we are, especially if we're making decisions on, starting to talk about next year's budget, I'm sure in the upcoming months. Thank you.
So I'll have to work with her on that, so we'll try our best to get it back by next week. There are a number of grants that we're still familiarizing yourself with.
Yes, okay.
And so you want only active, open grants?
Yes.
Okay, so,
All right,
yeah, let's square some time up to make sure that you have all the right ones.
okay.
Taylor will help us.
All right. Will do.
Thank you so much. Any other questions about our budget?
Mayor, I had a question about.
Yes.
And Ms. Karen, thank you for the report, and appreciate all the work that's gone into just making sure that we just have all the information. This was in regards to the special call meeting we had last month, and the breakdown of the OPG is what they called it, grants. So
Right.
just wanted to maybe get an understanding of the process. I know I see it's 2024, and I'm thankful of the foresight of our police department to include JYCG in a part of this, but just trying to understand, like, where does those go? How can we, just trying to understand the process. And I know you have a budget report down here, but I just don't see it.
Can you all at least, so right now, and I hope y'all know ain't nothing funny going on with this. We are desperate. Karen is working very hard on one main priority right now, aside from keeping every account reconciled to date. And that's getting everything up to date for our 2024 audit. They have weekly meetings, and our hope is that our fiscal year 2024 audit will be, what's the date? Is it June 30th? June 30th, which means when we get that done, I swear she will be free, but that is taking a lot of time, and then we can go start into our 2025. We are going to work on that OPB grant. We have not received any reimbursement. Is that correct, Chief? Correct. So there is some work that Chief has to do. This is not one of those simple grants, and because there have been a number of revisions even prior to me, I think the thing was started. So if you all would just give us through July, we will have everything updated, by August, by the August meeting. I don't want to give her to June because my priority for you is this, is the, what is it, the audit.
The audit.
Are y'all okay with that? I promise you, like, it ain't going nowhere because it's reimbursable.
Gotcha.
But it's nothing that I'm telling you, it's going to take some time. And I don't want it to interfere and delay our fiscal year 24 audit.
Gotcha. And I understand that. I appreciate,
If
where
there's
the
a
priorities
specific
lie.
question or something, like,
Yeah, like I said, and I know maybe just based off our conversations that past Thursday, that these funds need to be used by October.
no. Yeah, they have to be used, but some of them have been used. So to show you how complicated it is, certain parts of that were used for a certain percentage of staff. So some of that salary has to be reimbursed to us, like 15% over a period of 2 or 3 years. So when we prepare the report for October, I think you all will get the full picture. Y'all listening? Yeah. Point of privilege? Okay, perfect. So I think if you allow them to get the report ready for October 30th, which would be done 2 months prior to that, y'all have everything you need. And we're not gonna leave, I can promise you, we won't leave no money on the table. Promise them, Chief, we're not leaving no money on the table. But I will make sure JYCG gets some reimbursements coming through. That's what we were about. Okay, any other questions that we can ask for that? Y'all, we have to do such a detailed report by end of October. But unless y'all want Karen up here, 65 hours. So one thing that, and I'm just gonna say this, one thing that Karen has been able to do is get us caught up on these audits, but also maintain all reconciliations from all accounts. That is huge. And so if we just allow her to do that, and then in August, we can start working on our OPBG. Is that okay, Chief? You want to do it before then? No.
That's perfectly fine, but I'll be in touch with Councilman Dixon as I already expressed to him.
Okay.
For these concerns for the $2,500.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Very good.
Well, Mayor, may I
Yes,
say something?
Councilwoman
Because
Fox.
I don't want to make light of this because this is not, here's what I'm understanding, and Councilman Dixon, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I guess because we didn't know what was in the grant, the youth council didn't know that they had the $2,500, and then finding out, once we got the documentation in the grant, we realized, okay, that money needed to be utilized by a certain time, but we've had that grant for several years. So at what point was he going to be notified that the youth city council had that money? Am I understanding you correctly?
No, you're
Councilman
not.
Dixon?
And so you're understanding from a perspective of something has been done wrong. There has been.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Mayor.
I'm talking, I have not acknowledged you.
But Mayor,
There-
I wasn't done finishing.
Well,
I wasn't
okay, I'm
finished
discussing.
talking, though. But-
So Chief, there is 4 or 5 renditions of the budget. Correct. There are 4 or 5 renditions of the budget.
That's correct.
So to sit up here and say, why didn't they know that Jonesboro's youth city government didn't get their money is not fair to Chief, it's not fair to me, it's not fair to Karen. That is a very tedious budget. I don't know if it was on the first rendering on the budget, I don't know if they put it into the second budget. When did it get to the budget?
It was on the very last one, Mayor.
It was on the very last one.
That's correct.
So, and we had to go through to figure out when that's approved. Jonesboro Youth City Government, y'all now have $2,500. We're very clear on that. It's a reimbursable grant. So y'all can look at that. Y'all got do they have we gave them the copy of the last budget last time. So go through there and highlight it. If y'all want something that, I don't know what else to do. But I'm not gonna sit up here and allow it to be said for the public record as if we've been hiding something. Yes, it sounds like it.
Mayor Sauter.
Yes, Councilman,
Gotcha.
didn't
And
you start it?
Yeah, and I understand Councilwoman Fox's point, and the basis of me bringing this up wasn't to be accusatory at all, but really just try to understand the process. So I thank you, Ms. Karen, for prioritizing the city's, everything that we need to do for the city, and I look forward to just understanding the process more with you. And thank you, Chief and Mayor and everyone for just seeing that through with me.
Thank you. So I think we're good. But what we can do though is schedule 4 hours for a grant budget, and everybody that's so interested can come sit here and go through every little, because that's what it takes with us, and we'll just make sure it's not a quorum. So when we get to that point where we're dissecting, going through everything, everybody got a question for it. If it don't meet a quorum, can come. Others can just trust us. All right, next on the agenda.
City Manager's Report by City Manager Cole.
So while I certainly appreciate you guys noticing the new format for my reports, and I think I really like it, but tonight for the city manager's report, I'm not going to so much touch on this. This is certainly there for your review, and I can answer any questions, but I want to talk to you guys about what I'm excited about, what's coming up. The first thing that I want to talk about is the budget. Our costs are down and the numbers are going up. In addition to the revenue line items that Ms. Karen showed a few minutes ago, there's two others that are also over. That's the film line item and then our occupational tax certificates. So the budget is just doing great. She hit the nail right on the head when she said, if you look at the percentages and you see things less than 30% being almost a quarter of the way through the year, that's where you want to be, and to look up and see 23%, 26%, even 30% for general admin. It's just a tremendous testament to the work that the employees and the finance staff and everybody puts in to keep our costs in line. So first thing I'm excited about is the budget. Everything's looking good. It's trending good. Knock on wood. The second thing that I'm really excited about is our employee development. We have already added our first class. It's going to be a 30-seat emotional intelligence session that is put on by Clayton State. We went, several staff members went to one back in, I think, February or March, and it was incredible. Had a lot of very positives. We have started to identify, speaking of employee development, we've started to identify job-specific skills that we either want to hire for or train for a lot of employees, and even recruiting for specific skills, building and facilities, CDL. And when you're talking about employees, having employee development be top of the list and have jobs and have trainings in order to support those employees, y'all, we're nothing without our people. And when we take care of them through training and encouragement, they will do anything for us. The next thing that I want to talk about that I'm excited about are some options for street signage. I have told y'all several times that I want to work on the eye appeal of the city, and one of the ways to do that is to update and or refresh our street name signage. The green and white is the standard sign color combination, but if we wanted to stand out, if you flipped it over, here is a sample of there's no other municipality in Clayton County that has this combination. And when you can drive into a city and immediately know you're in Jonesboro, you can do that in the other cities. Lake City has their own, Morrow has their own, Forest Park has their own. It's time for us to have our own. And this one, no one else has this. No one else will have this inside Clayton County. You'll also notice that we have different options for the downtown area, the Main Street areas. We can go with slightly different signage that is still consistent, but still identifies it as a downtown area. Another set of updates, I need to run these by Chief Cato, but there are some new things that have been done with signage to increase pedestrian and driver safety. For example, putting a thin red border around our speed limit signs will draw additional attention to the speed limit signs and hopefully keep people going safer. So working on street signage, eye appeal, and all these things that come together just makes Jonesboro stand out. The other thing that I'm excited about is being able to develop and identify a council retreat for all of us. We're gonna have the budget option, we're gonna have the do it right option, and then we're gonna have the Callaway Gardens option, so you guys can choose from. It's just gonna be, we're gonna look at different types of programming and then talk with y'all about what goals we want. What goals do y'all have for the retreat? What are some of the outcomes that you would like to see? And then go and find programming that addresses that directly. Also, we are looking at additional public works and police department vehicles. We have had some very positive conversations with Enterprise, and I cannot wait to bring it to you because Chief is excited, Marcus is excited, and we're going to fill in quite a few gaps. I want to go back to the business licenses. Again, we're at 636 with 70 that are pending, 40 restaurants, 40 health-related businesses. It's just, there's opportunity all over in Jonesboro, and I'm so excited to be here and to be a part of the team that's bringing it forward. Are there any questions from y'all?
I have a question.
Go, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you so much, City Manager. Okay, so when are we aiming to have the budget done this year?
We hadn't even started planning yet.
Yeah, we haven't even started.
Yeah, but like, what date would y'all like to have it done?
We
Like
haven't
what
even-
month?
We'll add it to our list to start talking about.
Okay, okay. I guess like it's a segue. Reason I ask is because like if, I know the previous years usually we get the budget and I may have just been missing things, but I didn't know if there was a process, if like council had ideas and like if we can do like, I'd like to see if we have money for this and if there's a time frame in which I would like. That was the reason why I asked that question.
Yeah, we'll work on one. We'll work on one.
Okay, in the document provided, it mentioned Lee Street Park Board. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's the communication board that is newly installed out there at Lee Street. It's the digital sign board.
Okay, okay, I saw it, wonderful. Can I pivot to the other one?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
says Lee Street, right? And I know that they keep coming off and we want to wait so we can do something more permanent so we don't keep wasting money. But that conversation
He's
was,
already come up here, and I don't know, the gentleman that came up, Marcus, to give us the signs, why is the sign not ordered?
Oh, we still waiting on 2 additional quotes. So
Okay.
we still reaching out to other vendors, so we
That
can
was been like
stay-
2 months ago, though. I'm just saying. No, the gentleman already came, gave us 1 quote. Because of pricing, we need 2 more quotes, so.
can, and Faith's not here, for our procurement process, we can't just like look on somebody's website and say this is how much it would cost? and
No,
call the
because they
quote?
need to come there and make sure that it's
Fit
vandalism
and stuff
proof,
like
and we don't want what was up there. And so now they have different options for coming to that.
Okay, so I know right here you have,
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. So the person that came and looked at it, it's not, I'm not gonna say it's specialized, but they have something now that's a little bit more vandalism proof. We don't wanna continue to add the letters that was there, even if we put in like a steel version of the letters, the way they're anchored in. So we're gonna get 2 more quotes, and depending on what those quotes look like, we may end up just getting a whole new option for the sign there. So apparently we're waiting on 2 different quotes, 2 more. Who has the last quote? But, okay, so y'all working on getting the other 2? Okay,
So
they're
we
working
can
on getting the other 2.
like, if we could get like a little email, but maybe not even we, this might be, I take my baby to that park all the time, I'm just always, you know?
Yeah,
And
so,
so we could get an email blurb about that, and then I'm not putting anybody on the spot, but the seesaw, just put in the email, I'm not asking to
the
talk about it
seesaw
publicly.
fixed, isn't it? I thought I saw somebody
I'm not
playing.
asking to
I
talk,
I actually just got the parts for the seesaw, and I'm repairing that tomorrow morning.
okay, I was gonna say, I wasn't trying to put nobody on the spot, I just.
So
put an
anything
email.
like that, if y'all shoot us an email during the week, other than the council meeting, we can answer that real quickly, just
Okay.
not to hold up time.
It's
but
only
yeah.
because Lee Street Board was on here, so I was like, I might as well.
Yeah,
talk
but no,
about
if y'all have
the
questions
park.
about Seesaw, Lee Street Board, nets for the basketball, just shoot us an email, and it'd be easier for me to send it out to that person, rather than them being kinda put on the spot here.
Yeah, no spots, just an email.
Okay, just
When
the
you
email.
can.
Yeah,
Okay.
or just email us when y'all have those concerns, 'cause we, chances are we're working on all of them, but I didn't think y'all wanted to know about the sign.
I like to know about, yeah, so I'll do both, I'll email, and if you can send me one too, I'd appreciate it.
We just
About
wanted
the
to send
couple
you one
things
on.
that about what we just talked about when y'all gonna get the other quotes or timeline.
So once they give them to
y'all
me,
talk
I'll
about
follow
it.
up with her, because they have to ultimately come to me, so whenever they give them to me.
Yeah, I be trying to take stuff off and put it on the city manager like we
No,
supposed
you
to,
can't,
but okay.
mm-mm.
So I think that was it, the budget, so if you can get me, email about when y'all would like us to give you requests for the budget about our ideas, so that we can have that to y'all before y'all, so that you can put it in your Callaway Garden example. And then, yeah, just about the update about the sign, whoever sends an email, it doesn't matter. And that's it for me about your report so far. Thank you so much for it. I like the new format. Very good job.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Anybody else over here with questions?
Yeah, I just have a
Councilman
question.
D.
And
Dixon.
thank you again, City Manager Cole, for all that you've done for us so far. Gets to Council, Mayor Pro Tem Miller's point in regards to the budget and the timeline of that. If it pleases the council, I would definitely love to explore a participatory budgeting process this year, to include our residents in that process. Are you all familiar with that?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So we have budget hearings, so I probably would be reluctant to include them in the scheduling process, but they're more than welcome to come to the, do we have 2 or 3 budget hearings? I can't remember. 3. So they can, that'll be their part,
Probably 3.
the budget hearings. All right, next. Councilwoman Fox, that's what I was going to, next person. Councilwoman
Yes,
Fox.
I would like an update on the street sweeper. I know we've been talking about it. Where we at with that?
So we had them out. They came back and talked about it.
You don't tell the truth.
And basically what it was is there was too much buildup in certain areas. We brought them in and worked on the contract and how to pay for it, because, and not going outside the limits that you guys had already proposed and agreed to. Working on what they're calling it curb bumping. It's just a little bit of an extra deep clean on some spots of it. So getting that lined out, we just got them the street list that needs to be, the ones that need to be hit first, and hopefully we should get a start date very soon. They emailed us earlier, it was either today or late last week, saying that they've received it and that they are working on a timeline for us.
So we have a company?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, you all approved the company. There was a delay in reaching out to the company, so I had to get involved. They were supposed to have a response to us today. Did we not get a response for them today?
I think we got a response from them Friday.
No, they were supposed to have some pricing. So we approved, you all approved street bumping for every street in the city of Jonesboro. Apparently, they didn't come out here to assess the streets, and then when they came out here to clean it, Marcus, it wasn't clean to me. Then they said that some streets require bumping because of the buildup. So then we asked, how do you know which one's gonna be bumping? Because if we're gonna bump a street, then that should be off of the regular street, because you don't bump and clean. So they have until tomorrow by noon to give us some updated pricing. If not, we're going back to the drawing board.
Mayor?
And I'll provide an update, yes, unless Marcus got one that I don't know
I
about.
spoke with them today, and they said they'll get back with us tomorrow. With the
By
complete
what
price.
time tomorrow?
Noon.
Okay, so if I don't hear from them by noon tomorrow, this is the absolute last time for them.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that's the update, Councilwoman Fox.
Thank you.
Y'all approved a certain amount, so I'm kind of trying to hold their hand to get it clean for that amount, since they didn't come over here and look and tell us that it needed more than what they got. We are, council, when things are approved, I am working with staff to make sure that the very next day, we begin to pursue these contracts, and also on the front end to make sure that these vendors already have their information in place, so that once it is approved, we can move forward and not have some delays. But there were some significant delays on this, and I apologize for that. Next. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
All right, thank
Next
y'all.
on the agenda.
Report of city council members.
All right, does any city council person have something to say? If y'all don't have anything to say, y'all don't have to. Okay. I'm just saying, because all these thank yous and stuff, y'all want to say something? Who want to say something?
Go ahead. I mean, I'll go ahead.
All right, I'll just go first,
Go
make it
ahead.
quick. All right, Councilwoman
No,
Kearney
everybody
here. It's
don't.
great to see y'all. I will be putting out some information on my Veterans Memorial Committee, on the city's Veterans Memorial Committee, so that we can have as many people join as possible. I have one person that's already said that they would join, that gave me a soft yes from her side, so I'm really excited about that. And if y'all want to help me help invite people as well, that would be excellent. And then, like I already brought up the open seats, I want y'all to have a very happy Juneteenth. Hope we have a great celebration. I know we will. Got a lot of bells and whistles coming out and happening. I want y'all to also have a great Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the building. Woo, woo. And I can't wait to see my fellow council people and whomever at the GMA conference. We're going to do a lot of great learning, a lot of great fun. And of course, have a happy 4th of July as well, because we're going to have all these different holidays before we see each other again at the city council meeting. Woo, woo, done.
Anybody else want to say something over here?
Yeah, go ahead. Mayor
Oh,
Pro
y'all
Tem.
want to say something? Go ahead, Councilman
Yeah,
Dixon.
gotcha. Just appreciate everyone for coming out tonight to the council meeting. I forget her name, Miss Benai. She started off the meeting, really set the tone by saying love needs to look like something. So I really appreciate her setting that
Benai
tone.
congregation, that was Rabbi.
Rabbi?
Benai is the name of her congregation.
Benai, got you. So yeah, I appreciate them coming out. Want to thank Miss Janae Harris for coming out and staying for the entire meeting and just bringing your gifts to Jonesboro. I appreciate that. We also have Ms. Lillian Hurd in the building, Ms. T in the building. I really just appreciate y'all coming to the first meeting and sticking through it. Thank you. I'm not sure if y'all seen the new art piece, the mural in downtown Jonesboro. It's right on the, you seen it? Yeah, it's right on the side of, on the C. Clayton County building. And just wanted to say, you know, thanks to all the partners involved, and shout out to the artist, Art Shaw Norwood, who, and his team that put that together. Was it? Oh, keep going, her. Got you, yeah. Let me see. It's good to see our elected officials, you know, out in the community and really engaging with the people, whether it's from office hours to move with the mayor this weekend. I heard everyone had a great opportunity to get grounded with Miss Kelly Prine with the yoga over there. So thank y'all for just continuing to put on different things for our community and giving our residents an opportunity to engage. We have another opportunity this Saturday at the Garden from 11 a.m. or from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. So come out and play in some dirt if you'd like to. I'm learning a lot in Hinesville for the Young Game Changers cohort. Yeah, that's the Georgia. Yeah, thank you. That's the Georgia City's book that they placed on our
With his
desk
beautiful
here.
face on it.
Appreciate that. But one of the things that I am learning, and I shout out to one of my partners in the cohort, his name is Chad Nash from Georgia Tech, and he's reading a book right now, which is my newest read, and it's called Walkable Cities. And it speaks to designing a city for an 8-year-old and an 80-year-old. And it's very interesting. It's actually probably one of my fastest reads recently, but you know, it says if you design a city for cars and traffic, you'll get cars and traffic. But if you design a city for people and places, then you'll get community. So just want to encourage everyone as we kick off the summer to go ahead and pick up a book or hop on audiobook and give it a listen. Thank you all.
Councilman Fox?
Thank you, Councilman Dixon. You always, you know, exert love and positivity. We definitely need your energy on this council. So I just want to take the time out to say thank you. You don't allow yourself to be rushed. I love that. You know, I tell you, I take a few pages out of your book and see Dixon any day of the week. But many of you have asked me again about office hours, so I am coming back to the city of Jonesboro City Hall this Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2. So please, you don't have to book an appointment. Just come by and see me as you did. I really enjoyed talking to the constituents because they're the reasons why we are here. They're the reasons why, you know, we have staff. They're the reason why we got elected. So I don't take that responsibility lightly, and I am honored to serve. Wednesday, June 17th, we have block party with the beautification department, Batista Circle. Please look at our social media posts. We have been blasting it, as well as Wednesday, June 17th, I have rented out JVO, which is a Jonesboro virtual business office. Thank you. Right here in our downtown area, I've rented out the entire building for you. So all of my collaborators, my work at home moms, my work at home parents, you want to come out. They even have, they said, do you want a bouncy house for the kids? And I'm like, I don't know if I want kids at this park, but you know, bring your kids, because we're going to have something for the kids to do while you work and collaborate, create content. We're going to have headshots. We're going to, you have 3 minutes to do a podcast, to advertise your business, and all of this is free for the community. So one of the things that I'm starting to do, I've been doing this even on the campaign trail, just advertising businesses, because not just the residents, but the businesses are also the heartbeat of our community. And we want to support them and make sure that they're appreciated in our local community. So City of Jonesboro, you already know I love y'all. City of Jonesboro staff, I love you. Thank you for everything that you do. We're family. We fight, we hug, we fight again, we hug, and then we go home. I love you guys.
Councilwoman Messy?
Thank you so much. So let me make sure my mic's on. So I just want to say thank you to the ladies on the council again and the mayor for our amazing experience this past week at Habitat for Humanity. We can site a building now, I promise you. And one day get us together, it is done. It is done. We or tired. But we will do it again, and I look forward to doing it and allowing the gentlemen on the council as well as anyone else that's here to come out, because it was a great experience. Also, I want to wish a happy Father's Day upcoming to all the dads here, but also, guys, let's remember the ones whose dads aren't here. Say a prayer for them. We've got a lot of legacy families right now in our city that have sick dads or have lost their dad in this past year, so keep them in your prayers too. Think about them. Flag Day is June 14th. Did you guys know that? Flag Day. So be sure you fly your flag. It's on a Sunday. Or put some extra flags if you want some flags to go in your garden box out at the community garden. I have some extra. Beautification Committee volunteer Mr. Haney will have some in his truck. He's out there way more than I am, so track him down and tell him you want a flag, and he'll share one with you. I'm excited also to be partnering with Pro Tem Miller coming up on the 23rd. I know she's going to share more about that soon, but we're going to do a Toddler Tuesday, and I'm doing music with 1, 2, and 3-year-olds in the community room. So bring your babies, bring your grandbabies. We're going to have a blast. And I'll let her definitely share more about that. I'm also excited about Juneteenth. Everyone come out, share. That's going to be a great celebration, as well as the 250th anniversary of our nation. That's going to be real good for our city. So please come out and share. Check your emails, check your mailboxes. I hope we can get some more of those QR codes, like the comprehensive plan. Be sure, if you don't mind, Mr. Cole, be sure the whole council has a copy so we can share copies with people. I believe that's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman C. Dixon.
Yes, I just want to say thank you all for coming out today and joining us tonight. I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are in attendance and those that are watching online. I do want to say this year is our Jonesboro Youth City Government, this Monday starts our Jonesboro Youth City Government onboarding this Monday, and this will be year 4. I'm very, very proud of that. I do want to say, a special shout out to Mr. Marcus Hurd and the Public Works Department for moving with a sense of urgency. This past weekend, a tree fell in the middle of the street, like really missing the lady's house. I'm so thankful that you all moved with that urgency. I appreciate that. And last but not least, we are having a block party at Batiste Garden Circle Pocket Park on June 17th at 5:30 p.m. So I would love for you all to come out and just enjoy the good vibes, the good community, and just lock in and have a good time.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll go ahead and wrap us up. Thank you, council. Y'all were amazing, wonderful. Closing remarks, everyone. A couple of things. So I want to first take a moment to, I always thank our staff. Thank you, best staff in the land. But I also just want to give a special shout out to Miss Tavisa. She is amazing. I swear everything she touches turns to gold. She was an integral person in our newsletter, getting that together, getting that up and going. She assists with the flyers that you see around. She assists beautification, and she's currently assisting me with this initiative, Play Jonesboro, #PlayJonesboro. And so that talks about a little bit about what Councilwoman Messick was talking about. Our first event is going to be a Toddler Tuesday. I'm so excited that we have a partnership together. This is wonderful. And so it's going to be on June 23rd from 10 to 11 o'clock. Please come out. We're only going to take the first 20 toddlers and families. But if this goes well, then we can continue doing this. I think we say live, play, work all the time. And I'd like, similarly to how love is shown, I feel like these are actionable words and we need to show, put our money where our mouth is. And so I'm so happy to bring forward this series, and starting with partnering with Councilwoman Messick is the best way to do it. And so I'm so excited about that. Please check our social media platforms for flyers and reminders. Also, a special shout out to Mr. Walker. We're bringing back the City Angels program here in the city of Jonesboro. And so for any of our elderly or seasoned residents, or our residents with unique abilities that prohibit you from doing the things that you need to do in your yard or in your home, please keep an eye out on our social media platforms, as well as our website, and you probably can call in as well to get some assistance. But we're here for you. We're a community that cares for each other, and I don't want that to just be something that we say. I want that to be something that we show. And so look forward to more details coming forward for that. We are in the middle of our runoff series, so please go vote. Voting started, I want to say today, and it ends on Friday for advanced voting. The actual date is the 16th. I know it feels like it happens often, guys, but we have to see it through. And so please go vote. It's not as extensive as it was the first time, but it's equally as important. One more time, shout out to our comprehensive survey. Guys, I swear I'm almost done. For our comprehensive survey, we have our QR codes. We're gonna be passing them out. They're on our website, they're on our socials. They should be at every event that you have, what we have in the city of Jonesboro. You should be able to find someone that can give you that QR code. But we need your input. We're deciding what the city looks like, what the city's going to be in the next 10 years with the vision, where we're going. No one's opinion matters more than a resident's. So please, please, please tell a friend to go ahead and fill that out. But make sure you live in the city of Jonesboro. Well, you don't have to, but we need you who live in the city of Jonesboro for sure to answer that as well. And also if you travel through the city of Jonesboro. Wonderful work again for our city, our Habitat for Humanity build. Thank you to staff and mayor for that wonderful town hall. I think it showed the residents a different side of us. I think it showed the residents the way that we interact with each other when it's not contentious, and I think that's something that they needed to see. Lastly, couple just reminders. June 15th, we're beautifying our community in Baptiste Park, so come out that Monday. June 17th is a block party. June 19th is Juneteenth. Get there early. Y'all already saw who's gonna be there. Can't make any promises if you get there late, okay? So please get there early. It's gonna be wonderful. June 23rd, Toddler Tuesday. July 2nd, 250 celebration. Don't say that we're not doing things in the city of Jonesboro, because yes, we are. Okay, I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of this council. I'm so proud of our staff. I'm so proud of the city of Jonesboro. That's all that I have. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion?
Thank y'all again.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Toodles.
Thank you, guys.